Chelsea are on the precipice of history. We are potentially going to win the inaugural Club World Cup in its first format. The only person who it would be right to watch this game with is none other than Mr. Jody Morris. Thank you so much for joining me for this game, mate.
Absolute pleasure, Rory.
Mate, grew up in the shadow of Stamford Bridge. Played 200 games for the club. Assistant manager to the club. This is a dream come true for me, mate. Thank you.
No, absolute pleasure, mate. As I said, I like your work. What I've been seeing for the last few years.
You're in the minority.
No, so I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, mate, thank you so much. This is big. Do you agree with me with regard to this tournament? Throughout the whole tournament, I've been saying that this is a competition that I really want to win. It's a competition that I believe is prestigious. I think it would be phenomenal for Chelsea to win it, and I'll be heartbroken if we don't. Do you rate this competition?
I rate it a lot higher than the other European competition that we played in this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's an amazing achievement for us to get to the final, if I'm honest, because it's the first competition that I think that we've played in where the actual calibre of team is of a proper level.
Yeah.
Albeit, obviously, the format's slightly different, and the fact that it's the first one is there's obviously teams that have done well a few years ago that are still in it, like ourselves.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've had a decent run to get to the final, but I certainly think that, put the money aside, I think the prestige of it and obviously the way in which it's developed, now that we are in the final, as Chelsea fans, we're both absolutely, absolutely, and it's one of those that I think it's clearly going to get bigger and better.
Yeah.
So if you can get your name on early doors, the first ones, it's a nice bit of history.
But you know what? It's a competition, and I totally concede that I'm in the minority here. I know that generally in this country people don't love this tournament, but I did. Like, you know, when we won the Champions League in 2012, the December of that 2012, I went to Japan. Like, Rafael Benitez made a pig's ear of it, but I went to Japan because we were playing in this tournament. We played Corinthians in the final. We got beat 1-0. I was desperate to win that. So I just think that, like, ultimately, sometimes football's quite a simple sport, and I'm quite a simple man. You're the best club team in the world. Like, it is what it is, right? You're the best club team in the world.
I think this format is better than the former, because you'd go and play your semi-final and then your final or whatever, and then you'd come away and go, we're the world club champs. At least with this, I think that there's a lot more high quality teams that are in it. A lot more can go wrong.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, there's some high caliber teams that have been knocked out by maybe lesser known teams or teams that you didn't expect to win.
I mean, Al Hilal knocking out Man City is one for the ages. And, you know, you can always remember, you know, those shocking results. You can always, do you know, when I was a kid, the first game of Italia 90, Cameroon beat Argentina.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of just being like baffled by that. I remember watching it in the most recent World Cup. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Do you remember, those things matter, don't they? Didn't France had Senegal?
Senegal, yeah.
France, Senegal, El Hadji Diouf, yeah. Like those things will always stay with me. And I think Al Hilal beating Man City 4-3 in the way that they did, that's going to be one of those results that goes for the age.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the eyes on this tournament, as far as, and by the way, that's not taking away the fact that there is a lot of eyes on this tournament. I'm not sure that we value this tournament as much as maybe teams from, or maybe people from other countries. Love it.
The South Americans, mate. You know when I went to Japan, think how far Brazil to Japan is.
Yeah,
I reckon Chelsea took 1,800 there.
Yeah.
1,800 from England. There were quite a lot of Japanese Chelsea fans, but 1,800 like English Chelsea fans went. There were about 60,000 Brazilians.
Yeah, they're crazy. I mean,
they love it.
It's religion to them, isn't it? And rightly so, because they're obviously the way in which they've graced football pitches over the years is pretty phenomenal. And talking of Brazilian teams, the fact that we've managed to bounce back from losing to Flamengo the way we have,
I know.
I think that the players and the management staff deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, because it looked like it was catastrophic, but we got incredibly lucky, didn't we? Because you know the way things would fall for Gareth Southgate. I call it the kind of Gareth Southgate pathway. You lose a game and it ends up kind of benefiting you. It looked like a defeat in that game to Flamengo meant that we were going to have to play Bayern, but then they got beat.
Yeah.
So it kind of went our way again. Do you know what that did though? Do you know what that defeat ruined? A group of Chelsea fans, like my friends that go regularly, they'd booked to play in Miami. Like, they'd assumed that we were going to top the group.
Yeah.
So they had to make a decision. Like, do we still go to Miami, or do we kind of like change our plans and go to Charlotte for the game?
Yeah.
Just went to Miami, watched it in the pub.
Yeah.
you
I
can't go to
you have
Miami.
to. Miami's got a big pull to it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but this is big. And obviously playing Paris Saint-Germain, are they, like, I know how you played football, but I also know how you, like, when I've heard you talk about footballers and the way that you like to see the game played, this Paris Saint-Germain team's right up your street, isn't it?
Yeah, they're exactly how if I was to try and get a team to play a certain way, this is certainly up there with how I'd like my team to play. I think the fact that they're high energy, they press high up the pitch, they're aggressive, they've got fantastic physicality throughout the team, and then they've also got people that can handle the ball and dictate the tempo. When you're talking about Vitinha, for me, he was the best player in the Champions League last year. I know Dembele's won it, and rightly so, with and he's received all the plaudits, but especially as a midfielder and someone who loved people like Xavi, and then you look at what Vitinha's doing and his influence on the team, I think cannot go unnoticed. I mean, there's so many high caliber, upper echelon, elite footballers in this PSG team, but
do you think he's the jewel in the crown then? Would he be the one to watch?
I think he's the one. Listen, I think they've got the best left back in the world. I think Dembele's performing as one of the best players in the world, but I just think the way that the game flows through him and the tempo, he can lay it off one touch, two touch, and then all of a sudden you see him burst through like he did in, was it the final when he broke through and then put someone through.
Pass,
I mean, for me, he's been phenomenal, and even in this tournament, when you're looking at, he's got something like 240 passes more than the next person in the tournament. That just shows you how involved he is and how important he is to this PSG team. Yeah. But they've got phenomenal players throughout the team, and they're front three. Oh yeah, I've always liked him. I loved him as a player, to be fair.
Would he have played in that? You know when Barcelona beat her? You know when you played? Yeah, no. He weren't part of that team?
No. So Guardiola was part of it, Xavi was part of it, and it was like Rivaldo, Figo.
Yeah. Figo scored at Stamford Bridge. That was the killer.
Yeah.
That was the killer at Stamford Bridge, wasn't it?
But yeah, no, I loved him as a player, but obviously he was one of those, he was obviously done what Figo done before Figo when he played for Real Madrid and Barca. So, but he was a talented footballer, but one of those that I love the way he talks about the game. When you look at some of the interviews that he's done, and I know that the Mbappe quotes are the ones that are coming out the woodwork now, but when you see him talking about he was trying to get Mbappe to work off the ball and work as a team player, you can see what he's wanted has come to fruition. When he's going, he didn't need a player to score 40 goals. He'd rather have 4 or 5 that are scoring 12, and look at what he produced.
No, it's amazing what Luis Enrique's done, because you think about that team that he had at Barcelona was unreal, and then to kind of do it all again, to go into this Paris Saint-Germain team off the back of what they were a Galactico team, didn't work. They lost, in theory, their best player. They lost a player that was their de facto sporting director. It's a weird relationship Mbappe had there. You know, he had a lot of power, and he's just brought in this new system. All the players have brought into his ethos, and it was probably the most one-sided Champions League final I've ever seen. I mean, some people would say, I think AC Milan, like Desailly's AC Milan team, beat Barcelona maybe 94, but that's it for me. You know, in terms of like Champions League finals that I can remember watching. Yeah. For a one-sided, like dominant performance, the best performance I've ever seen in the Champions League final. It's like men against boys.
Yeah, I mean, and it happened. I know that they didn't start the Champions League well, but they done that to so many teams towards the end of the tournament, and even just going back to the semi-final of this tournament, it could have been 6-0 half time against Real Madrid. Could have been 6-0, and like I said, when you've got young players that want to obviously perform well, but they also want to run through brick walls for you, and then when you can see players that have played at different clubs at different levels, and then you see them doing things that you haven't seen them do before, like you're talking about Dembele. You've never seen Dembele work this hard. That's when the manager deserves an even bigger pat on the back, when you're going, you've got players doing things that they haven't done before, That's when that's
Yeah, 'cause
like
the
what
talent-
Pep done. That's what Pep done at Barca. He had players that were doing things that they'd never done before, and also similar to Pep, when he first came in at Barcelona, he got rid of some of the big names.
Yeah,
Eto'o,
Ibrahimovic, wasn't it?
Ronaldinho's.
Yeah.
I mean, he got Ibrahimovic in, but then last of the year got him out.
Yeah,
But
Eto'o,
it's similar.
That's right. He got rid of Eto'o early, didn't he?
Yeah, you got to have a bit of humility, and you've got to buy into the team's ethos, and this is where you're getting the fruits of your labour now. So basically, on top of all that, we've now got to go and play against them. So
yeah, it's not going to be easy at all, is it? But do you know, this could be born out of nothing other than history, optimism, and sort of blind belief. But I sort of think we're going to win it. I know that's ridiculous. I know that like logic defies what I'm saying. But I've just seen us do it so many. You know, like when Chelsea need a performance, we're almost like the most likely team to pull it out the bag.
Yeah. Well, 2012 biggest. You look at the Napoli, Barca, Bayern games. We got battered in all of them.
I mean, if you think about what happened on the way to that final, like as you just said there, but like the specifics, like Lionel Messi missed a penalty.
Yeah.
Arjen Robben then missed a penalty in the final. Like Napoli were a Rizla paper from going through.
Yeah.
It was like an unbelievable run, wasn't it?
We have got a bit of history of getting it done.
But it goes further back than that. Like they're the kind of shining examples that people want to talk about. But even if you go back almost a generation then, and it would be very much like you knowing this firsthand. Like think about what happened to Vicenza.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like think about what happened to
Hughes.
Mark Hughes.
He
man.
actually come on for me.
Did he?
I came. Yeah, I got subbed. I was devoted to be coming off because I was playing well, and I was like, and then Sparky come on, and about 4 minutes later, he left foot volley into the far corner.
Yeah,
so,
winning his own flick on. Winning his own flick on from an Ed De Hoy goal kick, wasn't it?
Player, by the way.
Yeah, mate. See, but things like that, like we lost 1-0 away. We then went 1-0 down at home when away goals counted.
Yeah.
And we won the cup. Do you know what? Like we won it. I just feel like, and again, I know this is me cherry picking like the glorious moments. Because obviously we've had a bad run of finals lately, but I just know that we can do it.
Yeah, I think it's been a tournament there's been a few surprises anyway. I mean, granted, as much as I'm a Chelsea fan and hope that we're going to go on and win this, I can't see us beating PSG.
No, I appreciate when you say it out loud. It sounds very optimistic.
But I'll tell you what we will do. We'll make a better game of it than Real Madrid did, because that could have been 7 or 8-0 that game.
Yeah. They're in a really interesting position.
I thought and in fairness, they got a new manager, but at the same time, I do think we'll make a better game of it. Albeit, I know that we're trying to strengthen the midfield with sticking Reece in there with Caicedo, but I'm not a fan of seeing Reece in there, especially in the bigger games that we're playing against.
Well, also, he's the best marauding fullback in the world.
And they almost don't let him go forward, do they?
I don't. What's your overall? Do you like the idea? Do you like inverted fullbacks and all that?
I don't mind. I don't mind it if it's for control at certain periods, but they're a type. You can do both. You only need to. All right, PSG's maybe not a great example because they're both bombing on all the time, but you can certainly do both, where you have a right back or a left back that goes into midfield and maybe shores it up, and it stops the counter attacks in a counter pressing positions. But it certainly can release the fullbacks a little bit more than we do. But obviously Enzo has other ways in which he thinks is the best way for us to go forward. A lot of the time you can see in this tournament, and in fairness, he's had a great tournament. You see Pedro holding the width out wide left, and you see Cucurella coming in next to the two centre-halves in the build-up play, allowing maybe Gusto to get a little bit further up. But I'd like to see Reece James in that position.
So would I.
I agree with you. I think at the beginning we could maybe say that it looked like the manager was trying to look after him because of the injuries he's had. But when you've got a player of that calibre that can get forward and cause problems like he can, I'd like to see Reece further forward. Yeah,
so would I. Like in terms of what like Reece James does, in terms of like. Reece James on his best day, I think, is just unrivalled.
Yeah, I think he's the biggest. He's the full package. There's not any right backs, I don't think, that have got the full package. The problem is that he's probably not fit long enough, and even when he is playing, sometimes you need maybe 5-10 games to get up to speed, and then where he's been kind of pulled in and out the team and then playing in different position, he's not getting an opportunity to get to the peak levels which we know he's he's capable of. But when he's on song and he's at it.
Also, you think about his form towards the end of the season. You know, when we needed him to turn up, when we desperately needed to try and make it into the Champions League, it was looking like it was going a bit wrong at various points. It was him, wasn't it?
Well,
him shining.
Was it in the final that we brought him on at half time?
Yeah.
We was a much better team with him on the pitch.
Yeah.
Much better team. Now, listen, I know half times can change anyway. We wasn't very good in the first 45 minutes in that final, but we certainly made a big difference, and he was a big part of that. I think when you got players that are capable of being world class, I think you got to play them in their best position.
No, I agree. What do you reckon then? Like, cards on the table moment. Predictions.
I would love to claim that we're going to get a draw and maybe take it into extra time or penalties or whatever it is, but I can't see past PSG.
Do you think that's our only route to victory? Do you think if it's to go our way, it's going to be a long slog?
Listen, I definitely think that we can hurt PSG on the counter attack. I do think that. I think that there's been elements in this tournament that PSG have looked a little bit open and susceptible to a counter attack, especially with how quick the fullbacks love to go forward. But if we don't do it quick enough, we saw, I think it was against Real Madrid when Mendes got back when I can't remember who it was who went through, but the pace in which they can get back is extremely quick. So if we are going to cause them problems, I think it's going to be on the counter attack. I do think we can cause them problems. It's whether we can keep them at bay for long enough.
Well, 64% of the chat agree with you. Think PSG are most likely to win this game, which is quite high. 64%.
I thought it'd be more, to be honest.
Did you?
Yeah, I do, and not just because obviously they're the best team. For me, they're the best team in the world. But just because of how they looked in the last game. You look at how they demolished a so-called top great team.
Well, every time they've had to turn up, Paris Saint-Germain, like, you know, every time they have a big game, I'll watch it, and they're always just unplayable. But it's us. It's us. It's us in a European. Well, it's us in a international final, and therefore I just think that there is a genuine chance that we can make this happen.
No, there's reasons to be optimistic. We've got enough history in the bank for us to be optimistic. Yeah,
it will be. I mean, it's massive for Maresca, this, isn't it?
Do you know what? I think he's done enough personally just by getting to the final. I think there was a lot of question marks over whether, because listen, let's forget the tournament that we went in and won, the Conference League. We played one decent team in that, but when you then go, I think he's achieved more by getting to the final in this tournament than he did by winning the Conference League, just because of the level of teams that are in it, and also the conditions that they're playing with. Let's not come away from the fact that these are really tough conditions, especially for English teams.
Yeah. There is that. There is certainly that. Although ultimately, in a game like this, like, Chelsea don't have a disadvantage against Paris Saint-Germain in a situation like this. It's
slightly different. Obviously, when you come up against the South Americans that are used to it, or American teams, they're used to it. But you are still talking about a younger group, and we have a disadvantage as far as not the climate, but we have a disadvantage because we're playing against a team that's miles better than us.
Yeah, that's true. I just can't believe they're like turnaround Paris Saint-Germain. Like, it's basically a great example of how brilliant Enrique is. Oh, look, here we go. We go. Yeah, Pedro in the deep end.
But it's not just the fact that, because PSG are used to winning a bundle of games each year. They're used to winning their league. They're used to winning their domestic trophies, and they've always challenged in the Champions League where they get into quarters, semis, and all that. They're used to that level. But I just think it's the level of their performance whilst doing it, which is got everybody singing their praises.
Yeah. It's also the just the quality that they play with, isn't it? It's like I said before. It was unbelievable the way that they. You know what I was thinking about Inter Milan as they went into that Champions League final. I was like, look, PSG are a better team. Enrique is a better manager. But Inter Milan are the governors. Like,
there was a lot of people that were talking up Inter before that game, like, because of how organised they are.
How well they did against Bayern Munich. I thought that PSG were better, but there was something about that Inter team. What I thought they were was robust, resilient, dogged.
And they just got pulled apart.
They just got pulled apart, yeah. Like light work, wasn't it? Really light work.
Tell you what, we ain't started too bad here.
Yeah. Oh, mate. What's going on?
But even this, you look at this start compared to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I don't think Real Madrid got out there half for the first 15 minutes.
I know. It's such a weird situation they're in, isn't it, Real Madrid? Like Ancelotti, it's just such an awkward.
Yeah, they're looking like they've got a new manager and they're being asked to play a different way.
System as well. Like you know all that, like you know the way that he did really well in Germany. It was all three at the back, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
like Real Madrid can't play, like traditionally at least. Real Madrid can't play three at the back.
I mean, everybody made a big song and dance about the 2 mistakes for the goals, but they're forgetting that it could have been 2-0 like before that as well. Like with the goalkeeper made fantastic saves. Yeah. This is what I'm interested to see though, is like how we're going to press. Even look how high we are compared to where Real Madrid were. Real Madrid were just dropping off and allowing him to dictate play. I'm pleased to see Caicedo. I do love him. I love Caicedo. He's a genuine like world-class defensive midfielder, isn't he? Yeah, he's about as perfect as he can be for us. Yeah. Like well, he has to be, doesn't he? Because we are open a lot in midfield, so it does allow him that opportunity to get after the ball a little bit how Kante used to be for us at times, where he could use his legs and and also he's very good on the ball, isn't he? He's one of those like he's better on the ball than you think. He's better on the ball than you think.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily get the respect he deserves for like his on the ball stuff, but he's probably our best player last season. Really.
I mean, for me, easy. I definitely thought he was our best player.
Yeah, right. We started well here. I didn't necessarily expect this.
We haven't allowed them to put their foot on the ball and just dictate. Okay. I mean, you look at that ball that they've played. That's the longest ball I've seen PSG play. Well,
it's almost as if they've spotted something and they're like an over the top.
Well, in fairness, we're pressing high, aren't we? So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it.
Because also you've got to be so careful, haven't you? Because with somebody like their front line, like the pace in their front line.
Oh, so quick.
Although,
I'll tell you what, how good did Pedro look in his first start?
I know. I thought. Do you know what? I thought that signing was just such a no-brainer. Like played for Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked him a lot when I've seen him play.
Premier League proven player, Brazil international, and also conforms to what the new sporting directors want at the club. They want these young players. They want players to have sell-on value. In terms of like what I want from our players, I want just like proven quality. He's one of the few that has proven quality and the sell-on value that the sporting directors want. And
also, I liked his work rate, because I think when he was coming through at the Brazilian team, was it Fluminense? When he was coming through, he was actually a defensive midfielder at the beginning, and then you go. So he's not shy for like putting his foot in and getting after it. And there was quite a few times that his tracking back was first class. Yeah. And putting tackles in, and I think we need that. The way that I think Enzo wants to get after the game higher up the pitch, I think he'll be really good for us.
And also, just like the quality of the goals, like just being able to pull that sort of strike out of the bag. Like we've needed that, just that kind of magician, unpredictable, just somebody that can get you out of trouble.
What do you think will happen with Nicholas Jackson regarding this? You think they'll keep all three?
No,
obviously Liam. No, you think Nicholas Jackson will go?
I don't think Nicholas Jackson's good. Like I know people are. Do you know? I find it quite frustrating. When we talk about players, or we talk about like goal scorers, and the second that I talk about a goal scorer, people start talking to me about things other than goal scoring that he's good at. I always feel like it's a major red flag. I'll go, Nicholas Jackson as our centre forward's not great, and people will go, yeah, but his work off the ball, or what he. I'm just thinking, no, like. Yeah. I think the Delap signing was an excellent signing, like a no-brainer. He scored a great goal in this, didn't
especially money-wise as well. Yeah, if you're looking in today's climate for what people are spending, 30 million for a young English striker.
Scored 10 goals for Ipswich last year from open play. Yeah, they went down. Yeah, do you know scored 12 goals in total. If he scored 12 goals for Chelsea last season, only Cole Palmer scored more than him. He scored that for a relegated team. Yeah. I think he's unbelievable, Cole Palmer,
Oh,
I just think he's
good.
just unbelievable, isn't he?
So good. But not only that, like you're going, he's great, but he's one of those that you'd pay to watch, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh no, he is like, do you know when I was a kid and Chelsea signed Ruud Gullit, or like, a decade or so later when Arjen Robben picked up the ball, or when Eden Hazard picked up the ball, I feel like he's like that.
Yeah, he's the thing is, he just sees the game a little bit different as well. That's what I like about him, is that he can jink in and out of players. He can go by people. Like, obviously he's not like an Eden as far as going by people, but
he does it in a different way though, doesn't he?
The passes that he sees, and like the little pockets that he picks up.
The weight of passes.
That's very good. What a... Oh, I thought that was him. I thought that was him.
I thought it was a goal, but then I saw his reaction. Yeah. I thought like, it looked like it was in the back of the net, but I saw him go like that.
By the way, that was a good move as well.
Lovely move.
That was very good football.
Oh, what a shame. It couldn't fall to anyone
better. We've just been talking him up. Missed the target.
What a move.
What a flick as well, by the way.
Do you know what?
That is so good.
Do you know what's such a shame, though? He scores that 90% of the time.
What a flick from Pedro as well. What a lovely little flick.
That's a heartbreaker.
I'll tell you what, we started really well. Really well here.
Yeah, what are we, 8 minutes? It's been all us.
Yeah.
It's been all us.
And look, another long ball.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, Trev's been good this tournament as well.
I love him.
Especially what he's had to...
Yeah, he ended up at Palace.
Put up with as well.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I voted for him Player of the Year just because I just like him.
Yeah, when he came, we came in the team under
towards the end, under Pochettino at the end.
Yeah. He done great. He was our best defender towards the end.
Yeah, he came in, and we won those 6 games at the end of the season, which got us up the table. But I just love him. I thought he was a disgrace the way he was treated. When he ended up at Palace and that, and then he came back in and he's immediately in the team. Yeah, such a good professional.
Yeah, well, he is that. That's exactly what he is, Trev. Not only a good player, but a good pro and a good lad who wants to improve. I was pleased when he got his England call up.
Yeah,
as well,
mate, well deserved. Well deserved. Yeah, I love him. We were talking there, Cole Palmer, how brilliant he is, and we've also been acknowledging how good Paris Saint-Germain are. Even though overall they're a better team, is the best player on the pitch Cole Palmer?
I think that would be...
It's Dembele...
You'd have to say it's Dembele and him from a...
like
I think an attacking
goal
perspective.
Scoring,
I don't know. The other boy Due is half looking like a player of late, but I think he's one of those.
Like, do you know when I think about what Cole Palmer's done though, like in his career already? Like people don't necessarily even remember this because obviously it feels like such a long time ago. But when Man City won the Super Cup, he scored the winner.
Yeah.
Like Man City played Arsenal in the Charity Shield.
He scores.
He scored.
Yeah.
Like he scored for England in a Euros final. Yeah. He provides the assist for Ollie Watkins in the semi-final again. Yeah. Like the season when it all went wrong at Chelsea, like the ceiling was literally crumbling in. He's the one shining star. Even last year, when everyone's saying he had a bad year, he's still our best player. Like in terms of like output.
Yeah.
I just think he's unbelievable.
And you know what I like about? I saw him at there's a gym in Isha that I use, and he uses it as well. And I saw him on I think it was a Thursday night, and I think we were playing like on a Sunday or something. And I walked in, and there was no one in there. It was late, and he was in there, and he was in the gym. And I went, "All right, fella, like what are you doing?" He went, "Trying to get me form back, innit?" Like he made a joke about it, but you know what I liked about him is that he almost like just touched on it as if to go, I ain't playing to the level I'm capable of, even though. All right, he wasn't scoring and stuff like that, but he was doing things in the game where there was plenty of opportunities for other people to score and he'd get assists and stuff like that. But I love the fact that he just went, I'm just trying to get my form back, and he was doing extras. Mate, and I thought, do you know what? I loved him anyway. Yeah. I love his attitude. I love how laid back he is. I love the way he plays the game. But when you go, it's a Thursday night, he's in there doing extras because he knows he's maybe not hitting the levels that he hit the season before. And I thought, do you know what? I love him even more.
Yeah, so do I. Listening to this story, I love him even more.
Not only is he like our top man and our best player, but you then got he's going to do extras on a Thursday night with his
there's an
personal
element
coach.
of professionalism there that people don't like. I don't think he's seen as that.
Yeah.
I think he's seen as just almost natural ability.
Yeah.
Whereas
definitely.
he's actually look from that story there. He's obviously got the determination and drive.
And even that, you're going, if you was to maybe pick one thing from Cole's game at the moment, you go, can he maybe get a little bit stronger with upper body?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Can he maybe do a little bit more from a defensive aspect by maybe using his body? And you go, what is he doing? He's in the gym doing weights on a Thursday.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely love it. Yeah.
I came away there and I actually messaged JT the minute I come out, because JT lives around the corner from there, and I was like, and he uses it well, and I was like, Cole Palmer's just been in the gym. He was like, oh, is he? I went, oh yeah. I said,
yeah.
I love him even more. He went, oh yeah, quality, innit?
Quality.
Like,
yeah. Do you know what he feels like to me? He feels like, not yet, but he feels like a superstar. You know, like one of those, those footballers that are so big they kind of transcend football, like a Hollywood footballer.
Yeah.
He feels like he's on the cusp of that.
Well, I think he's on that ladder.
Yeah, like he's already doing the Burberry shoots. And,
I mean, when you see yourself in Times Square on the big billboards, you know you're halfway there.
But what I loved about it, he's taking a picture of it.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, that's what I'd do. I go, Mum, you won't believe it. And he's done that, hasn't he? It's just so normal, like not conceited about it at all.
Us as Chelsea fans know full well how much we all love Cole, but when you see the down to earth, the humility, I think you'll see kids that relate to him, because he just looks like he wants to go and play, put his boots on and go and kick the ball around in the playground. I think that helps, that warms to it warms to every generation, the older lot, people like myself, the middle-aged older lot, like, do you know what I mean? And then you got the kids who go, oh, how cool is it with his boots? And
no, he is like a wonderful player. Also, do you know what? It's one of those very, very rare. It takes a very particular person to be able to almost be an obvious mistake from Pep Guardiola. Like, Pep Guardiola in his life, in a football context, made very few mistakes. Man is a genius.
Yeah.
But if you think about, imagine Cole Palmer linking up with Erling Haaland.
I mean, the problem is, and it's like, I actually got asked this when he first came to us. It's like, it's easy with hindsight United to say, oh, it's a mistake by Pep, but you actually go, at the time he wasn't playing, would he have got in? Although we love him and we say, okay, his levels is like miles ahead of anybody at Man City since he's left, as far as in that position, but you go, Cole might not have been able to show us what he's capable of without him coming to us. That's why we was a good fit for him.
I agree, but do you think that it's someone's responsibility? Like, you say we take it away from Palmer and make it kind of an example of the past.
Yeah.
You know when Mo Salah was at Chelsea?
Yeah.
As much as it didn't work out, and there was that game away at the Game Meadow at Shrewsbury where it went really wrong for him and whatever, is it fair enough that Chelsea moved him on, or is it someone's responsibility at the club to go, hang on a minute, there's something in this bloke? Like, should someone at City have basically...
No. Oh, I can't believe he's passed it.
He didn't shoot.
We got away with one there.
That's the problem, isn't it? They're cutting. When they go for it, they are cutting.
Yeah, in fairness, that's the first decent thing they've done. We're 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got away one. Doué's got to shoot, and
he's got to shoot. It's the most unselfish move.
I think he's trying to be double clever. But in fairness, well played to. Was it Cucurella who ended up blocking it?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, he's done well reading it.
Really well. He read it.
He's done well reading it.
Also, the keeper's read it. But if he could have had an open goal if he just goes the other way. There's some breaking news, by the way. Gyökeres to Arsenal.
Oh right. Oh, look at this. Breaking news. We're in.
Oh my God. This game's mental.
He shouldn't be passing either. He's done better going forward, isn't he?
Fernandes.
Yeah.
He had a
second half of the season.
Yeah, he had a season that I didn't think was going to happen.
No, yeah, I agreed.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
And also, not just because of the level in which I think he's played in the second half of the season, but the type of midfielder he's been in the second half of the season. I wasn't sure he could do that, because even though he moved a little bit further forward after his first 6 months and started looking to get forward more, I just didn't see that.
No. But do you know what he's got about him, which I'm not his biggest fan, but do you know what he has an attribute that is an attribute that I'm so keen on, and I don't know if we have enough of it apart from him. You know that kind of hateful quality. Like Enzo Fernandez, when we're playing away at Tottenham, will boot someone.
Yeah.
Like he will do that. And I think that kind of thing, to be a good team, you need an element of that, don't you?
Oh, you need a bit of bite, definitely.
And he's got it.
I think he's got. I mean, he's got that. I think Caicedo's got that.
Yeah.
I don't think that he takes any prisoners. And then you've then got Cucurella, who just winds people up.
Cucurella's
Just winds everyone up.
Got it in a different
like,
way.
If he weren't in your team, you'd hate him, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to be a top team, I do think that you need at least 2 or 3 that have got
that about them.
Yeah,
but also, you know what you think about that goal that he scored. We went to Tottenham, didn't we? We were losing 2-0, and he scored a brilliant volley. Fernandez. He scored a really good volley. I think Jadon Sancho had scored to get us back in the game. Fernandez, I think, put us 3-2 up. Brilliant volley at the end where the away fans are. Like, I think he's a kind of player that kind of gets what it means at Tottenham away.
Yeah. Oh.
Save. And I just think you need players in the team.
No,
like
I agree with you. You definitely need that. When you do see that there's moments where Fernandez is getting involved.
Yeah.
As fans, sometimes you don't mind seeing it, do you? And that we kind of know that he's had. Again, we're talking about the South American side there. They're not shy of leaving their boot. But what has surprised me is the coolness in the box. So the fact that he wants to be arriving late in the box, you almost look at him sometimes and you go, "That's what Lamps used to do."
Yeah.
Now, I'm not comparing him for one iota for 1 second here, but in fairness to him, the coolness in which he showed the second half of the season in front of goal, the willingness to get in there, you got to go. I think that's something that we've needed in our midfield for a little bit, because you can't keep relying on Cole to produce something.
But it seems like a bit of a dying art. It seems like a bit of a dying art form. You know that goal scoring, like marauding central midfielder that will guarantee you even not Lampard numbers. Like, just do half of Lampard's numbers.
No one gets
half
Lampard numbers, do they? Yeah.
Like, you know, when you think about the brilliance of a player like Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Declan Rice should be scoring 15 goals a season. And if he was playing a decade earlier, I think he would, because I think he's got the talent for it. But it's just kind of changed, doesn't it?
Well, I just think now the fact that he's maybe been given a little bit more license to get forward, you're seeing more goals from Dec. It's pretty similar to Enzo. In fairness, I think the second half of the season you see Dec going forward a little bit more.
But I think Declan Rice is like so good.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Like, I think I'd go as far as calling him a world-class footballer.
Yeah, I think when you go in, let's all agree the Champions League is the biggest and best competition in the world.
Then the jewel in the crown is the Bernabeu, and he's gone there
and also you go, Dec's in the Champions League Team of the Year. Is that 2 years in a row or something? Do you know what I mean? It's they're the type of things that Lamps and Stevie D used to do, and like JT was in it, Rio, like all these players. Again, when you're in that team, like, granted, your team has to be successful for you to usually get in it, but Arsenal ain't, and they're still going Dec's in that team.
It's just, I agree with every word you said. I think he's a sensational footballer, Declan Rice. I just feel like, because of how good he is, we've seen the eye for the goal. I just feel like maybe I'm being greedy. I just think there should be more of that. And you kind of think it just doesn't. Maybe it will come now, though. You know, that new midfield, Zubimendi, Gyökeres now. What do you make of that? They got their man.
Well, I think they've needed a 9. We all know that. I think everybody in world football will tell you that they've needed a 9. Now, whether Gyökeres is going to be what they're hoping for, I suppose on paper at the moment, as far as number 9s go, he's got to be one of the most sought after, isn't he? And you can't argue with his numbers in Portugal, but I would have to reiterate and re-emphasise that it is Portugal. Yeah. That's all I know.
People are doing a little bit too much of the 98 goals in 102 games, aren't they?
This is not Mo Salah numbers, because Mo Salah's doing it in the Premier League. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? And even listen, I think he's a good signing for them, and he's definitely what they need. But like I said, I'd go on then. Gusto through.
Oh my God! No, why didn't you ping it?
Oh, why is everyone waiting?
Yeah,
there you go, lad.
Yes. He's unreal, isn't he?
Yeah, how calm. Look,
He's just unreal.
I just stroke it in the bottom corner.
He is absolutely unreal,
mate. How calm is he?
No matter what the occasion.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. But it's the final he played in. Conference League final, he wins it for us. England in a Euros final.
It's just,
look, see Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
Look, Enzo Fernandez is at it.
I don't know why they're kicking off.
You need someone like him. This is why he's so important to us.
Why are they kicking off? I don't get it.
There seems to be an issue. Donnarumma's going mad as well.
What's
going on?
the ref doing? I don't know.
It's been given. There's no conversation about it being given. Right, it's a goal.
I haven't. I'm lost here. I don't know why everyone's kicking off.
I can't believe it.
What a calm finish.
I know.
So we don't mind Gusto chopping back now, do we?
No. But there's never a doubt. And Cole Palmer's in that situation.
17th goal this season.
Goals.
That's what I mean.
The biggest occasions as well. He's turning into that. Look, it's Sanchez starting to move.
Yeah, the centre half played him on there. In fairness, that's probably the first mistake Mendes has made the whole tournament.
Yeah. So there's no issue here.
I don't know.
There's
what
just
it's
no
about.
issue. I don't know what everybody's moaning about.
Oh, it's just calmly
Just
slided it in the bottom.
It's such a good finish, and to just like gently ease the ball into the far post.
Yeah, he's just passed it.
Yeah,
you get those cool, calm and collected players that. If that was me on the edge of the box, I'd be trying to put my laces through it and everything, and he's just calmly just stroked it in.
Also, he seems to do it. Do you know in that part of the goal, like it's just a Rizzler paper away from the keeper, like, but the keeper's getting nowhere near it. It's like that in that tiny bit where the keeper just cannot reach. Oh my god!
I'll tell you what, we've done great the first 23 minutes.
Yeah, we've taken the game to them. Like totally.
We've had one maybe moment where they've got in our box and we was in a little bit above her where he's tried to square it. But other than that, we're like in control, I think.
Cole Palmer, man, it's every single time, isn't it?
He's absolutely top drawer, isn't he?
Like there is just never an occasion too big for him. Euros final with England, goal. Final of the Club World Cup, goal. The Conference League in Poland, takes a game by the scruff of the neck and wins it for us. Like wherever you put him.
But even that, you see, even the fact that we're playing him off the right today, the fact that you've got Gusto that wants to get high up on the right allows him to still come, even though he's playing on the right, he still gets in those little pockets inside, almost like a right side 10.
Yeah.
And obviously where he's finishing there is on the edge of the box. So even though he is a number 10 and we'd ideally like to see him in the middle of the pitch, it doesn't matter if he's playing on the right. Intelligent footballers can at times get freedom. Can come in off the line, and it's actually difficult to mark.
Do you think he's the kind of player where you have to basically allow him, regardless of how rigid the system is or how important the system is? Somebody as good as him, he has to have an element of free reign, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think when you're in possession of the ball, these types of players here, you've got to allow them opportunities to find space and get comfortable in where they are, or if the game's passing them by because they're not getting enough touches of the ball, allow them to go and get it. Even if it looks a little bit lopsided at times, you need your best players on the ball. Now, without the ball, the minute you lose it, that's a whole different story. And that's one thing that Cole, I think there's still elements of his game that he can maybe improve on that side. But your best players, you've got to get them. They've got to be allowed to get into their rhythm and get a feel for the game. And I think the times when Cole has not influenced the game, it's not been because he's been poor on it. It's usually been because he can't get in the game.
Yeah.
And I think there's moments where you've got to allow these guys those mavericks, the ones that have the ability to open up teams to go and find the ball or go and make sure that they're getting it and they're not getting overlooked, because you want your best players on the ball.
You know that kind of player, like the Cole Palmer, in your career, who did you play with that was the closest to, just like that, almost like the best on the ball, totally unpredictable?
Franco was the one. Franco Zolo in our time.
Yeah.
Like when we was playing, it was like if he wasn't on the ball or involved, he wasn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
So there was moments in his Chelsea career where you'd find he'd be on the bench or he'd get subbed and stuff like that. For someone of his quality, you'd be surprised. But you're going, sometimes it was Sparky and Torre Andre Flo instead of Franco. But the reason why he would maybe find himself out of the team or maybe getting subbed and stuff like that would purely be because we wasn't maybe doing enough to get him on the ball. And in today's game, in the way in which they pass the ball today, would suit Franco a lot more
Yeah.
than even though people viewed us as a good footballing team.
Yeah.
The way teams play football now is miles better than
Yeah,
when we was doing it. So Franco was the one. If he was getting loads of touches of the ball,
You probably win the game.
we was in a better position to
Yeah.
win the game. Put
Yeah,
it
yeah.
that way. 'Cause
Would he
was
be? Would he be the best player in terms of on the ball? An on the ball footballer that you played with? Would he be?
This is going to sound weird, but for me, it was Glenn Hoddle.
Was it really?
I've never seen anyone.
Well, because also you wouldn't have played with Glenn Hoddle at Glenn Hoddle's peak.
No. I only played with him in reserves and literally in training. But
Yeah.
for what I see when people had the ball at their feet, I ain't seen anyone do what Glenn Hoddle done.
Really?
But as an actual player for the teams that I played for, you'd have to say Franco was the most talented.
Right.
But as I said, other than Glenn Hoddle, I
Was Hoddle that good even
Hoddle,
at that point?
When Hoddle was, and this was Hoddle, I'm talking Hoddle as manager.
Yeah.
I was still thinking he's still the best player at this football club.
Really?
I was obviously 16, 17 coming through, but I was still going every day in training. He's the best player.
Really?
Like in little small-sided games and that. I can only imagine what he was like to play with when he was at Spurs or Monaco.
Really?
Like, he was a genius for me. Genius.
God. Yeah. Do you know that the goal? I think he scored a goal against Watford for Tottenham.
Cruyff and the chip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cruyff
Which
and the chip.
is like mental.
Honestly, the things that you see him do in training with the full manager's gear on, the big baggy tracksuit bottoms, and we're all running around, and then he'd just join in most days anyway. The things that he would do like every day, and you'd have your mouth wide open, and
Really?
you're just like, what on earth is it? And this is at the same time when Rudy's at the club. Like Franco weren't there yet, but you like there's a few players, and Glenn Hoddle for me was still the best.
So what?
player.
No surprise to you that Hullet wanted to come to play with Hoddle. You could see the appeal of
Yeah, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I think Rude's got a big enough ego to think that whatever team he goes to, it's because he's going there, and it's. But yeah, listen, I'm sure. I know Glenn played a big part in Rude going there, but I think we was good for Rude at the time in his career,
Yeah.
and Rude was obviously great for us, especially raising the profile and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
oh,
Cole Palmer, not again!
oh my God!
This is unbelievable.
He's a joke. He's an absolute joke. The way he's just sat that geezer
it's-
down.
again-
Oh my God.
Again, coming in off the look at it, he's just
Mate, there's no
phenomenal.
stopping.
Phenomenal.
See what I mean? You know when I said he's a superstar in the making. This
Yeah.
is what I mean. Like this is historic. Like what he's doing here is absolutely historic.
And you're right, and that it's been a shame for where we've been as a club since he's been here, that he's not been playing in the Champions League. But this is why him doing stuff like this in this tournament, the prestige of it, where it's going globally, this will propel him into another stratosphere. I think.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
He is a superstar
because look at this.
Mate, the way he sits the geezer down,
Look.
the dummy is mental. Oh my God!
Brilliant. And he
just uses the run, doesn't he?
he sent one fella, and then he sent the
And the
centre
other.
half who's already going to
and
ground,
he's
and
done
the
it again.
the
Same
keep-
corner. Just rolls it in, doesn't he? Is that finish?
And even that, you've got to talk about some players where they've just finished a goal, finished a move 5 minutes before, and put the ball in that corner. Some players will be going, "Oh, I'm not shooting in that corner again."
Yeah.
And go, "Oh no, you've left a big enough gap again. I'll just slot it there again."
he's
so
done it
good.
to Donnarumma, who's
Yeah.
got like the wingspan of an eagle. Do you know? Like,
And he weren't even. He was a lot closer to the first one, but even that one, I think the couple of dummies that he sent, I think, not only gave him the room to stroke it, but I actually think it unsettled Donnarumma as well.
that was just unbelievable. Because also, you know, with the dummy there, he almost didn't do anything. It was just like a little use of the
Yeah.
body, wasn't it? It wasn't like a mad step over. It's
Yeah.
literally just like a slight feint.
Well, I think when you've got the quality that he has on the edge of a box, I think that's where the fact that you've produced quality already and people know what you're capable of, they're more wary and more worried about what you can do. So they actually go to ground a lot
they
easier
commit,
because they
yeah.
know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, if it was me or you, Rory, on the edge of the box, they might not have gone to ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just terrified of him.
Yeah. What a goal again. It's so good.
I just
So
can't
good.
believe it. Oh, it's got an elbow in the
Call
face
it-
there.
Yeah, it's unintentional to
Yeah.
be fair, but I'll tell you what, we've been brilliant.
We've
First
been
half
brilliant.
hour, brilliant.
He's on to become a great at the game. I just cannot believe that.
What a ball that is, by the way. Who has just played that? Is that Trev? What a ball that was.
I think he was. Yeah, just
Well,
pinged
it
it
might have
wide.
been Reece or Trev.
Just pinged it.
Yeah, bouncing.
Mate,
I think it was Trev. Yeah, great ball.
see, this is unbelievable, isn't it?
See, this is good. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this pocket here that he's picked up. See, when you go and
you can't mark
give
him,
him
can you?
freedom to go and get on the ball. Because look, the left back's staying with Gusto because he's gone so high. It just allows Cole to pick up. Look, again, he's still
so
spare
much
now.
room. Yeah.
This is where
Maresca's shouting, "Give it!" Look, you've got to get it to Palmer.
This is where you got to go. Maresca deserves a lot of credit for the setup that he's put together here. He deserves a lot of credit. And I said this a couple of times last year that when Cole actually played on the right, people automatically go, "Oh, he's on the right. What's he doing there?" But I'm like, he's a nightmare to mark because he don't want to stay out wide right. So when he comes in, it gives the fullback what you're going to do. You're going to go with him, and then if you've got a Gusto that wants to go higher or a Reece that wants to go higher, they pass on the responsibility to somewhere else. And then when you're intelligent and you go and you've got the freedom to go anywhere, you go. If the left side midfielder wants to go and mark Cole, he'll go.
He'll leave a load of room. Yeah,
I'll go deeper then. I'll go like he did there to pick up the ball. Like,
yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
I'll tell you, we're doing so well here. So well.
That's brilliant play.
I am so surprised at this.
I can't believe it. Like, we've made
like we have been the better team by far.
Honestly, this is so good.
He's done well, Pedro, for us.
Done really well
this tournament.
Yeah, he's done really well.
Again, I think we need his directness in the team. You know, like players that are willing to just go at people, run at them. He don't mind hugging the line, don't mind giving you a bit of width, and will run in behind when people have got the ball in midfield as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
he's been brilliant. Also, like, he scored a goal for us at Craven Cottage, which was the reason that we made it into a season sort of turn there.
Yeah.
Big goal. God, I honestly cannot believe what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, we like. There's no way that I thought that we would dominate the first half hour of the game.
Yeah, not to this level this.
No, players and the manager deserve huge credit.
They don't have an answer.
No.
Like it really does feel like they have completely.
Well, at the moment, like I said, they've probably played more long balls here in this one game than they've played in the previous three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shows that we're pressing properly.
Yeah, they're looking for a way through, but they just haven't got it. God. Very rare that you see Luis Enrique on a touchline like that, a little bit sort of dishevelled and...
He needs a bit more of that water on him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's getting hot under the...
Boiling, yeah. But God, what a start.
Yeah, very good, very good.
What sort of impact do you think this could have on our season? Like, are you worried long term going? You know when it gets to sort of Easter of the new season.
No, I'm not. I don't buy into all that about how you're going to feel and all that. Listen, they're going to get 3 weeks off after this. That's enough, especially for younger players. And also, it's like I don't want to keep harping on about it, but it's like people want to talk about the games that we've played in Europe. Those games, we rested so many players for those games. We gave loads of young kids minutes in those games.
That team almost,
for me, that was the biggest bonus from that tournament, was being able to give homegrown players and players that weren't getting minutes. And obviously it changed a little bit towards the end because we wanted to obviously win it. But I don't buy into that. Would you want to give them a little bit longer? Yes, but when you're getting the benefit of experience to younger players that are not used to playing at this level, not used to playing teams of this level, and also coming away with a pot full of cash, which will then help us improve the squad again. And then you go also confidence, knowing that you can go and play against the best team in the world and dominate.
Yes,
I think this is a...
Also, if he keeps using uses the squad well there, like as you mentioned,
you
know, in the new season, like as the season starts, like when we play, say we play Brentford early, don't we?
Yeah.
Like maybe we make use of a little bit of rotation. You know, like even when the season starts, if we're just sort of slightly clever with it, Delap's in the squad now, so maybe João Pedro doesn't play. If we can give Cole Palmer a little break, because the squad themselves, like the whole point is effectively trying to have 2 good players per position.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I'm all for, trying to get an excuse if we can, but that ain't. We can't be giving any of those type of excuses for a club like Chelsea when you've got the squad that we've got, the level of players that we've got in different positions, and also I'd actually go. This is where a manager sometimes has to prove that not only is he a good coach, that he's a good man manager as well. Because I think that there'll be moments during the season where, if he feels that it serves the player, the individual, or the team better, I think that there are games that if we get to a Carabao Cup, why not 3 or 4 of them be given a week's holiday? Go and rest your legs again for a week. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's go and bring. We've got a fantastic youth system. We've got homegrown players that came in and done great in Europe last year. Why don't we use those type of games to blood them, but also not just a player that's okay, Cole Palmer, you're not playing this week, but you're going to travel and be on the bench and you're going to take part in training all week. Go, no.
Literally.
Go and put your feet up for 5 days.
Yeah.
Go and rest. Go and get in the sun somewhere. Maybe get your factor 50 on.
Yeah.
But and then come back and be ready to go again.
Yeah.
And I think that the best managers have got elements to their man management style where they do things like that. And I think that when you have played a tournament like this, if you do see little signs, or players, if they feel that they can communicate and go to the manager and tell him these type of things without worry that they're going to lose their place because they're talking about they may be a little bit tired, then go and see him. Listen, I don't think that you would do personally, just because you've had to play. This is almost just like an international tournament at the end of the season.
Yeah.
How many players would you get that are going, right, I played in the international tournament last year, I don't want to play in these big games.
Although that's sort of why it's cumulative, isn't it? So if you think about, if we use Cole Palmer as an example, last summer he's gone to a Euros final.
Yeah.
This summer
didn't play much.
No, not enough, that's for sure. But he's still had to, he's still been there. This summer he's had this. Do you think that we're overplay? Like, is there a worry here that we're overplaying? Not only him,
it's not
just
for me.
in general.
It's not one of the things that I buy into. To be honest, they're going to leave here. They're going to get 3 weeks.
Do you remember being knackered? Like, this conversation at night.
Never. Like, and also, don't get me wrong. I never played 60 games a season, 50 games a season. But at the same time, I just don't see that. I think you get that when you're slightly older and you're maybe on the wrong side of 30, then you may start feeling
but that's when your manager has to help you out,
and also, but when you're that age, you manage your body better anyway. The way the players live their lives now is 10 times, 20 times better than they did in my day. So the fact that they're going to get 3 weeks off after this, they'll be winning stuff like this, they'll be gagging to get back. And listen, the minute we have a poor result in that sort of period, people are going to say people are going to point to it, but I don't buy into it at all. And especially when you've got a squad the size of ours. Yeah,
I agree. A super chat has just come in, by the way. It's from N Simmons, and it says, a team winning the Conference League and then becoming world champions is mad.
Yeah.
Only Chelsea.
Well, you said it before.
It's such a Chelsea thing to do.
You called it, to be fair.
It's such a Chelsea thing to do.
Yeah, let's. What a great 40 minutes so far. But
flawless.
Yeah.
Like, flawless. I just can't believe what we've seen. Like, this was supposed to be like the major test. Anybody that didn't want us to win this. Yeah. And I had TalkSport on earlier, and they had Perry Groves on, and he was sort of saying he's sitting there like he kept trying to speak French and actually accidentally speaking Spanish. And when he was supporting tonight, and he went when he used to support in Paris Saint-Germain, and he went, see, like trying to say that, like, obviously being desperate for Paris Saint-Germain to win. Anybody that wanted us to get beat here, they were saying that this was going to be the fix. This is where it was all going to go wrong.
That's the team you'd pick to beat us, wasn't it, as well? Yeah, we couldn't have. It couldn't have gone any better so far. But we all know how football can change really quickly. So let's just get into half time.
Got to get to half time now. Yeah, don't let them back into it. Nothing silly here. Set piece. Just got to keep this as tight as possible.
They love these little short corners. Oh.
It's all right.
We'll take that. Though.
Yeah. Come on.
Again, he's hardly been in it, Vitinha, isn't he? You know,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, get to half time. Nothing silly. And yeah, we could be doing, as N. Simmons has said, the Conference League and then World Club Cup. Unreal, isn't it?
It just don't sound right, does it?
Nah.
No.
And also, it will be a long time before any club holds both at the same time. Like we'll be the reigning holders of both.
Look at that pocket he's gone in again. Look, Cole
He's
Palmer's
so clever, isn't he? Look, they can't handle him.
Yeah.
He's travelled 30 yards with a ball.
Oh, what a ball.
Oh, my God!
What goal that is.
Oh, my God!
Cole Palmer in that little pocket again.
Mate, he's unplayable.
Oh, he's good.
Unplayable.
This is
you
so
just give
good.
the ball. Just give him the ball. Give the ball to Cole Palmer and hope for the best after that, and end up scoring every time.
What?
It's unbelievable.
A first half. This is.
Oh my God.
That is class. That is class. It's the weight of the ball as well, though, isn't it? It's the weight. Like it's just.
It makes the goal. It makes the goal for him because it lures the keeper. It gives the keeper like the belief. Look, carries the ball 30 yards. He's the best player on the pitch, and they don't know what to do with him.
Oh, what a finish as well, by the way.
A lovely finish.
How cool is he?
Oh, that's a lovely finish.
Delightful.
What an impact he's had since he's come to the club.
Brilliant.
Been at the club about 6 days. It's unreal.
Brilliant. But that's what you want, though, as well, isn't it? Is that,
I think good.
I know we was touching on it earlier about when Cole Palmer went through a spell of maybe not scoring or assisting, but it's like he was playing these balls and people just weren't finishing.
No,
them.
yeah.
He set up a lot of opportunities for people to score goals and they didn't finish.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Your numbers can often be reliant on it's
on
a team
others.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
But
Eden Hazard had that a few times, like a few seasons. You know, when he was like, he was doing the business, and then Michy Batshuayi's onto it or whatever. It's, you know. Yeah, my God,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Do you know everything that we said about what Paris Saint-Germain did in that final to Inter Milan? We've done to them.
We're almost doing to them, yeah. Even this, very good from Cole. It's the first time he's got forward as well, Mendes. Oh, well done, Sanchez. Yeah. Get to half-time, lads. Why are you going so quickly? This has been brilliant.
This is mental.
So surprising.
This is mental. I mean, I predicted us to win it, but not like this.
No. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like we've got plenty of examples where we've got through and got over the line in big games, but it's usually what we was talking about before the game was in games that we maybe didn't deserve to win.
Yeah,
this is
just dominant.
Us.
Yeah,
this has been all us.
Yeah, those games. It's been that. Like, I was using it almost as an example to demonstrate Chelsea's character.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe the character would carry us through. Yeah. It's not the character carrying us through. It's like the footballing brilliance.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done very well in our setup to not allow them to take control of the game. Higher up the pitch, we've done very well, and that's where the manager deserves a lot of credit.
I just cannot believe what we are witnessing here, Jody. Like this, particularly for Cole Palmer, this feels like almost a coming of age moment. And we've known how brilliant he is. We've seen. I mean, people will probably be saying, "What about the goal for England in the final?" But you know, on a world stage, taking a game like this by the scruff of the neck, dominating Luis Enrique's Paris Saint-Germain team. This is history we're witnessing.
But in like what you were saying before the game, is like we're not surprised.
No,
as Chelsea.
no.
We're not surprised that he's the man to come to the fore.
I can't think of a footballer like maybe Hazard. You know, just for that almost like eye-opening, bewildering brilliance.
Yeah. Oh, well done, Reece.
Oh my God.
You haven't seen their midfield at all, where their midfield has dominated so many games. Like their midfield has not been able to take control of this game.
No. But throughout, like Trevor Chalobah at the back has been brilliant. Neto's had a good, like João Pedro leading the line with aplomb. Enzo Fernandez working his socks off in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just been like just a complete and utter dominant performance. This is the kind of performance.
Oh
yes, this is the kind of performance. Do you think that could like inspire something special in a new season?
It's going to do no harm whatsoever as far as the confidence goes, because I think you do get those moments. I think you get moments where there's maybe, especially in younger groups, where there's a realisation of, by the way, we are good enough to play against anybody. And in fairness to us, we've done okay against the bigger and better teams when we've played them in the league anyway. But I think this is a level of opponent that we have not been used to, and as I said, I'll stress that, especially in Europe, it's different when you play against your big teams that are in your league. But when you're coming up against teams in Europe, and
we haven't been put to the test in Europe, have we? Like even the final, even if
not at all. I mean, the first, in fairness, the first half, we were the second. But we were best anyway.
We were, but we shouldn't have.
But again, it's still not a top team. Yeah. Whereas this is like, we've played better here than we did in the final.
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah, this is
an unreal performance.
So good.
Yeah, you can imagine like this squad when the new season comes round, and the new season starts in about 20 days.
Yeah.
Like when that comes round, people are going to be desperate, aren't they? Like it's going to be so inspirational to win this, go to New York City, lift silverware,
and I'll tell you what, the fans' expectations are going to change if we win this game.
Yeah.
Like, because we're all looking from the outset, going, okay, well, especially me. I thought we would do well to lose by just 2 in this game. The expectations that you're going to get from players that are from fans that are watching this going,
expectations
oh my
are
word.
good.
Oh,
expectations are good.
No.
Like,
listen, all the top teams have to deal with that.
We should have expectations.
Have to deal with that. Yeah. But it's good. I think good for the younger players, especially where you go into that new season and go, we want to join the likes of Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. Yeah. We want to join the likes of them as far as challenging, not just thinking top 4 again.
No.
We've got to go, we've just beaten the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We are the best team in the world. We're being the best team in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's truly unbelievable. There's a super chat that's come in here from Mr. Yellow who says, is there a world now where Paris Saint-Germain do their best to pay the big bucks for Cole Palmer? Oh, we don't sell it. It doesn't matter, does it?
Nah, we ain't selling him.
I think Clear Lake have a vision where they want to profit on players.
Yeah,
but not him.
No,
not him. Yeah,
there'd be a mutiny, wouldn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and N Simmons actually is in the super chat and has said this tournament needs to be played in Europe to give it more. I mean, there is something in that. If this tournament was played, if this wasn't New York City, if this game was being played in Barcelona, we take 25,000 fans.
Like I said, we said it before the game. Like that's the only thing that you'd say about this is that it is a tournament that we are not, as a country, we're not going to view it as the Champions League final. But us as Chelsea fans, I think, as far as the group of players that we got and the management staff, we've got to look at this and go, this is a major step further forward than what we're used to in Europe last year.
Yeah.
A major step forward.
Yeah, and the fact that we can hold our own, when the Champions League comes around in September, this has got to be inspirational, isn't it?
Yeah, very good point. I think that's where you get the benefits, is that it helps the confidence of a young team go, hold on a minute, we've already played the best team in Europe, and dealt with them. There's no problem.
And you can also tell, when there's a question marks around this tournament, and I think the question marks are generally from fans rather than people in the game. The clubs all seem really keen. Guardiola seemed really keen on this contest. He seemed to be taking this really seriously, this competition. Yeah. So, it's all very well. I think that people will say it's a glamorised friendly. It's whereas I think that within the game, they seem to be taking it really seriously.
If you're in this tournament, make no mistake about it, there will be people higher up at the football clubs that you're playing for that will be making it known and making sure that it's funneled down to the players that this is a serious competition, purely on the money side of it.
Yeah.
And what it does for you from a commercial aspect as far as broadening your club's visibility.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge. But and I always thought this, because I didn't think we'd have a chance of winning it. I always thought, get as far as possible to bank as much money as possible so that it can help you going forward for what we're doing. I never thought for 1 second that we would get to the final.
But say we do win this and it's looking good. Do you know what? Do you know how significant it is to the spreadsheet? And I don't like focusing on money when it comes to winning tournaments, because I feel like the glory in winning tournaments is a trophy lift and the history books. But do you know what Chelsea are going to earn from this? You know, it's Champions League money. And think, to win the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain, we will get what they got for winning the Champions League. Yeah. But it's taken us a month. Yeah. To win the Champions League, you're playing for a year.
Well, that was my point, is that, make no mistake about it, those upstairs, or those that are in the know of how the club is run, will be making sure, going, this tournament is absolutely imperative that you try and get through as far as you can.
Yeah.
Because listen, us as fans, we like the football side of it, and winning and lifting trophies and the relatability to players and stuff like that. But the business side of it, you can't ignore that. Like you said,
it counts.
4 or 5 weeks we've been here, and
we're going to go home with Champions League money. Exactly. I know it's amazing. Do you know what I wanted your thoughts on, actually, Joe? Do you know the idea of, like transfers, and everybody's talking about transfers now, and we've just had a conversation about the impact of Chelsea winning this tournament on our transfer activity. Arsenal have got Gyökeres over the line. In your career, you've moved clubs. What's the practicalities? Like, how does it all come about? Like, do you have a say in where you go?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're at a football club and there's a team that wants to pay money, and obviously the football club would maybe want you, say if there's 2 or 3 teams, and the football club would try and steer you to the one that, I don't know, say it's 5 million quid, and you go, you've got 3 teams that are all going to pay 5 million quid, but there's one team that are going to pay 5 million up front, and the other 2 are going to go 2 million, 1 million or something.
Yeah.
The football club's absolutely going to try and push you to go to the one that's going to pay 5 million up front. But the main decision stays with you as a player, and you'll be aware of everything that's going on, because there'll be agents involved and stuff like that, and they'll be telling you, going, look, the club will. There's been instances with players recently leaving Chelsea where the club have tried to steer them to go elsewhere, and the players are going, no, I'm not doing that. And
do you feel like it's in the bag already? So, a player like Gyökeres, there's been so much talk about him going to it. It feels like it's been protracted and drawn out. Do you think, from my understanding, with no insight into the game directly, I believe that, like, that basically everybody has still had a chance of signing him. Of 3-4 weeks ago, he was destined for Man United. That's now not the case. Is now looking like Arsenal got it over the line. That's a story that we're told. Do you, from your experience, is that how things can go, or do you feel like maybe he's kind of known where he's going to go?
I think that it'll all depend on. I think that all the conversations, his agent would have met all the clubs.
Right.
They would have met all the clubs and gone, right, what are you prepared to pay him? What are you prepared to pay the club? And sometimes the best deal for the club is not necessarily the best deal for you. So you get some that will go, we'll deal with Sporting Lisbon and we can pay them this and we can do that. But then they'll offer you your actual deal, your wages or whatever the package is not as good as what you can maybe get elsewhere. And also the type of football that you're going to be given. Let's get it right. If there's a toss-up between Man United and Arsenal right now, Arsenal win 100 times out of 100.
Okay, that's an interesting. So
if you want to go for a footballing decision,
so that's. I agree with you, because Arsenal and Manchester United are both brilliant in terms of their stature.
Massive clubs.
What about the argument then? The argument that I will often have with my mate Booth, he's a Man City fan. I will often say that because of who Man City are historically, players will prefer to play for. Man United are just so bad that they're a bad example for this now, just because they're so bad.
They've fallen off a cliff.
If they weren't as bad as they are, I would argue that what Manchester United represent, the Stretford End, the history,
You go,
Eric
the prestige,
Cantona,
the prestige is at Man United.
Yeah, whereas he will always go, what are you talking about? The money that Man City the money that Man City pay combined with the football project means that the player will probably go there.
Yeah, I think that's true now, and I think that's been the case for a while with Man City, to be honest. I think that when there was a bit of a changing of the guard, I felt that they had to overpay and they had to probably go over the top with a lot of players to then entice them away from maybe other options that they had. Now it's not a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, they've dropped so
you'd
far,
probably say Man City's now in conversations with Liverpool, Arsenal, and
okay. What about Liverpool, Man City then? Do you think it would come into it if Man City were going to pay more, which they presumably would, but Liverpool are a bigger club, a better historically?
Yeah.
What do you think is more relevant?
I think each case is different.
Yeah.
So let's say if we're talking about from a number 9's perspective at the moment, where you'd probably say Liverpool need a number 9.
Yeah.
All right, Man City don't need a 9, but if you was looking at the clubs, you'd go, if you're a 9, you'd probably be leaning towards Liverpool because you go, I don't think there's much competition. All right, the front three's always got a lot of competition, but you go, you ain't going to want to go to Man City. Man City could offer you $100,000 a week more. You ain't going there if you're a number 9, are you? Because of Erling Haaland. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I think each case is different. I think that's where the weighing up of all the variables is important, where you go, let's get it right. Every player wants to earn as much as they possibly can, but then if you do get to a level and the money's all in around the ballpark, you've absolutely got to look at what position you're playing at, what the club is. Yeah. Are you going to play every week? Like, do you know what I mean? There's some decisions that I see where players go to certain clubs, and I'm like, yeah, I know you're going to be paid well there, but are you going to play every week?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. If you've got other options where they're going to pay, listen, you might not hit the exact number that the other team's paying you, but ultimately you don't want to be going somewhere to sit on the bench. I mean, you have to have players that go on the bench, but like if you're a big signing, that's why I think this Gyökeres has been waiting around for Arsenal, because they need a 9,
and he starts and he could be the difference maker.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And also, let's get it right. I know he hasn't won as much as what maybe some people think that he should have since he's been the manager, but I think Arteta's a top coach.
I do as well.
And I think he has his team playing a certain way. I think the humility in which his team play and the way in which he wants to win, I think the relationship that it seems that he has with his players and that he has with upstairs, I mean, it might have changed since Edu's gone, but it seems that Arteta's pulling all the strings there, and that, I think Arsenal's a really attractive proposition for
I agree. Well, and what about from the other side of it? You know, in terms of like scouting a player, so let's use Gyökeres, Arteta. Do you think how much of it, from your experience, would that be like Arteta's man, Arteta's decision, or do you feel like now it's got to the stage where you get club signings more than?
No, you absolutely have recruitments like system that will be in there. But if Arteta don't want him, I believe he's one of the managers that, one of the few managers when you talk about him, Pep, I imagine Slot as well. I think that if they don't want a player, they don't get him.
Not coming.
Whereas
but do you think you do get situations where managers don't want players that do still come?
1,000,000%.
Right.
It's happened. It's happened at our club many a time.
Right.
But you have a recruitment system. In the ideal world, you want the recruitment department to be liaising with the technical department, i.e. the managers, coaches, and stuff like that. You all want to be on board with a player. I mean, you could go. I go back to our time at Chelsea, and we had, funny enough, Haaland and Osimhen were on our list, and we're like, it'll be like mine or Lamps's job to then go away. We didn't know much about Haaland at the time or Osimhen. Be watching hours and hours of videos, and we're going, by the way, he looks good. He's absolutely doing all sorts.
Yeah.
You had Lamp speaking to Haaland and everything.
Really?
Yeah. He was trying to sign him, but
Really?
Yeah, that the upstairs wouldn't do the money. So he was on the recruitment list. But in fairness, if you're at a top club nowadays, the list is probably, you could pass it round all the top 4 clubs. They'll all have the same sort of players on the list. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I mean. It's like people want to talk about Osimhen now at Chelsea. It's like we're talking about 2018, 19. Osimhen was on the list at Chelsea.
People were aware of
it. Haaland was on the list.
Think about the strikers that we've had since then as well. That how different it could have all been.
Yeah, like they didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay the money for Haaland because Haaland had a set deal with his agent where that if we'd signed him, there was a set fee for him to be, if he was to be bought and sold. And in fairness to Marina, she's like, I'm not paying that amount of money for you to then just dictate how much we sell you for.
Oh, is that what? Okay, okay.
So obviously, which is what happened when he went to
Dortmund.
Yeah, but it was even Dortmund signed him when Dortmund signed him. Dortmund signed him when we was looking at him and trying to sign him, but obviously Dortmund had to agree to
the sell-on fee.
At the beginning. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I see. I can see why that isn't necessarily so appealing for the club.
No, I mean it's fine if you're Dortmund because they're a selling club.
Yeah,
like like in fairness to the upstairs at Chelsea, they were like we're Chelsea. We're not. We don't need to do that.
So then what happens is the player that you might want as part of a managerial team, you don't get. You're then given other players. You're told to work. This is
the pot. And then there's also ones where there might be players that the coaching staff and the manager love and they want to sign, and then all of a sudden it goes upstairs and they then speak to the recruitment side of it, and then they say, no, we don't believe he's. They'll go and get on the computer and get all these stats or whatever, or whatever they think is the the numbers that you need to hit to be a success, and then they'll say, oh no, I don't really fit into what we're doing. So
it's fascinating.
You need to be on. You need the ideal situation is being on the same page. The problem is that can. When it doesn't happen at times, then there's maybe sometimes a little bit of a power struggle where I think we had it I think you had it recently, maybe a little bit with Erik ten Hag, where he re-signed and then went, I want these players, blah, 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 and they're not necessarily what the recruitment side wanted. Yeah,
although he'd be an example, like, what I would say from the outside looking in is you have to back your manager. You have to, like, if the manager wants a player, the manager's almost going to have his hands tied behind his back if he isn't given the players that he wants to work with. But then you think about Erik ten Hag, you bring him up, and you're like,
That's why I think. That's why I think
he signed all his mates.
Listen, the dreams. You do like in devil's advocate for that. I would always lean towards you got to back your manager, but at the same time, the manager hasn't got enough time in the day, or the coaching staff have not got enough time in the day to go and make sure that all the eyes are on this player. That the dream scenario is that you're head of recruitment, I'm a manager, and me and you have got a great relationship. We both know what we want.
Trust
we both
one
know
another.
What we're looking for.
I know what works with you well. You know that I trust. You could trust my vision of football.
So you look at Liverpool right now with obviously Arne Slot has just come in and Richard Hughes is the top man. He's very, very good. I met him when he was at Bournemouth. And
did you?
Former player, top draw. I think brilliant at his job. You only need to look at the players that he signed at Bournemouth.
He's done the Kirkes deal, and he's done the Kirkes deal again.
I think that you could see, even when you hear Arne Slot speak, every time he keeps going Richard, and Richard. Like, do you know what I mean? They clearly have a relationship where they're close. You look at, I think how things went at Brentford. Whenever you hear Thomas Frank talk and the way that club was run, you go. Whereas there's other clubs that are maybe kind of Man United's an obvious example, and then. There's even elements obviously at our club. I think that the more and more successful you are as a manager, I think, and the better you do, I think the more and more sway you'll have with whatever's coming in.
Of course.
But I think that there are some head coaches that are in roles in clubs where they know that that's maybe not their role. So they just go, this is the player that we're going with. This is the one you got to get on with.
Your job is to work with the player and make the player.
But again, listen. I think some managers maybe have left roles because they didn't have the amount of influence, or maybe been sacked because they didn't agree with what was going on. But like I said, the dream scenario is being on board, having a good relationship with the recruitment side of things, because that's the best way a football club can
The problem
work.
is, though, a lot of good managers are going to lose their job because they're given duds. Do you know what I like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. There's some people that will look at recruitment when there's duds that have come in, and you're going, well, actually, that was the manager signing. We've got, without going into them, we've got instances in the last 3 or 4 years at our club where there's both scenarios have happened.
Yeah. No, it is fascinating. I do find like the workings, like the mechanics of the game, like interesting, because obviously from a fan's perspective, we all feel like we know, and we all feel like we have opinions on how these transfer deals work. But the easiest thing to do, and you see people doing it every day on YouTube and on social media, is like, go and sign Gyökeres. But it's so much more nuanced than that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, we do. We've heard from Arsenal fans for the last few years talking about stuff like that, and they moan that Arteta's maybe signing people in different positions that are maybe not so needed, but behind the scenes, you might be. I know we can't get that 9. We've gone for that 9. We can't afford that 9. If we get him, we then can't do this. And I know in a year's time we might be able to get a shout at that. And like, do you know what I mean? There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that obviously people don't know, and we all believe everything that we hear in the media. I don't know. You get people on your show on TalkSport or Sky Sports or DAZN or TNT. They all come out and they'll tell you what's going on. And me being in a position before where I've knew exactly what is going on, I'm looking going, you're so far off it. It's unbelievable. But they're telling you that, and people believe
presenting it as fact.
Do you know what I mean?
It's an opinion being presented as a fact.
So
right. I see. It's a very interesting.
It can be a bit of a minefield. It can, I think, and like I said, the best way I think a club can be run is when the recruitment and the technical side is all together, on the same page, in bed together, and sometimes one's opinions can maybe sway the others. Like you take time and you give validation to the people that are doing a difficult job in recruitment. Recruitment's hard. Like I don't think it's hard at the top level. Like I said, I think that everybody's list that you have, you ain't picking like saying, all right, we never knew Haaland or Osimhen when we were in there, but I'm telling you now, them 2 players were on so many other teams' lists. We knew that when we were speaking to players, even when we signed other players, we knew that they were speaking to other clubs. Like those lists, recruitment, when you go in, like if you look at some of the gems that Brighton have unearthed and stuff like that, their recruitment where
that's crazy,
where you go, you'll come and get players, or someone will go at Leicester, they'll go and get N'Golo Kante.
That's recruitment.
Top recruitment.
No, do you know? I think they're a great example to use, Brighton. Do you know when we took Cucurella? He was their player of the year. I thought, they're in big trouble now. Then do you remember they brought in that Estepinian, and it's all of a sudden it's like at one point he looked. It's not the case now, but at one point he looked like he was doing like very impressive things comparable to Cucurella, and you're like, how have they done that? How have they gone? And Leicester at one point did it. Leicester, their central midfielder, I think it went Cambiasso into like it was like just churning them out to a top level. That's
where I think you can't argue with when you go recruitment, because anyone can go and pick the top players. Like, do you know what I mean? We can all. I can be head of it. You can be head of recruitment. You go and say like, do you know what I mean? It's when you go and unearth a player and go, who's that?
Yeah.
When people don't know who it is, then you go, they've gone and done their work. Or they see something that maybe other people don't see because they play in a certain formation or under a certain manager that doesn't allow the player to flourish, where they go, I know that if you pick you up and put you in this team under this manager, you'll excel. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, it's going to be. I think there's a lot of players in that position at the moment, like really good. Like, do you know who I think is a brilliant player? Like really, like just a brilliant little footballer. But I don't see how it's going to work for him. Is Harvey Elliott at Liverpool? Like I rate him. I
Lovely
think
little footballer.
Every time,
lovely footballer.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like every time I watch him play, I think he's a really good player. But ultimately, to play in what, in my opinion, is his best position, which is probably one of the inside forwards, one of the front three.
Yeah.
To do that at Liverpool, he's not going to be that.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not going to get in. He's not better than Salah. He's not better than Diaz or whoever Liverpool want to be there. So
that's when you go, he's got a decision to make.
He's got
innit?
yeah.
But again, if we go back to him, so even earlier when you was talking about the lap, so you go, we knew Harvey Elliott at Fulham, like the recruitment in the academy at Chelsea. You've got to go and try and pick players from obviously other clubs or whatever, or abroad. But Harvey Elliott was viewed as a top player. You go, when me and Lamps went to Derby, the lap was in the academy at Derby, and as soon as we went in there, well, I say as soon as, it was about a month after, Darren Russell pulled me to the side and was going, do you mind if I talk to you about one of our younger lads? And it's like, yeah, go on. And then he explained, obviously it's Rory the lat's son, showed me a few video clips of him playing. I was like, oh, he's a big boy. He was like 15. Like, he's big boy, he's strong. And he went, yeah, we love him, but Man City have offered, I think it's a couple of mil or something, with like something if he goes and breaks into the first team. And you go, that's Man City just going, right, there's a top player, he's not in our academy, he's in Derby's academy, we know that we can get him for a couple of mil. Like, do you know what I mean? You go, and then also he goes and gets an educate. If you're Rory, his old man, where you're going, you want the best for your son, you go, he'll go and get an education in Man City's academy, which is top draw. And then you go, okay, you then go out on loan for a couple of times, and then you go to Ipswich. It's like what a lot of younger players would do at Chelsea. You get people that will come and be at Chelsea knowing the type of coaching they're going to get, knowing the education they'll get, but knowing also that Chelsea don't want to sit around and sit on young players. They want to send them out on loan. So they'll get an opportunity to go and play first team football. Might not be Chelsea straight away, and then you go, then there's a decision to make. Like, listen, we was lucky in our time that we went and put players on loan, and because we knew them all and knew how good they were, like your Reeses, Tomori's, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mounts, like Conor Gallagher's, Mark Gurley's, they all go on loan, but we're going, they're good enough. They're going to get time, like a lot of them didn't after a little bit, and then they were sold on. But those are the moments that I think you'll get when the bigger teams come and nick.
So you know that scouting network that you were saying there, like I mentioned earlier at Liverpool, and you kind of said, look, Fulham. You had outrageous success with Chelsea's kids, didn't you? How many European? What did you do there? 3.
Well, me personally, when I was the under-18 manager, I played in. I was the manager for 2 seasons, and we won every trophy. So I won the treble the first year, and then they added another trophy in the second year, which was Premier League Cup. So there was 4, and we done the quadruple the next year. But
that's amazing.
But the actual academy, there was obviously those European trophies that the under-21 manager used to take, because it was an under-19 team rather than under-18. So a lot of them was his players anyway. So AD Vivash won 2 of those. They made the final the next year. The academy is world class.
You know that team that you had? It was like the Reece James, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham team.
Yeah, no, Tammy weren't in my actual. Tammy was the one where I was assistant. So Dom Solanke and
right. So what was your team? Was the slightly younger crop?
Yeah. So Mason was my first captain but you had Mason Mount, Mark Gurley, Trevor Chalobah.
Did you know then?
Yeah, but I'd been there for a few years, so I knew the boys when they were like under 14. Yeah, like seeing them coming up.
But did you know that they were? So it's got to the stage now. I don't think this is controversial. Mark Gahey has become England's best centre half.
Well,
I don't think that's like
he's certainly up there. Isn't he?
Who else is? If it's not, if you're doing an England team to play a game today, you're starting centre half. The first centre half you're going to say is Mark Gahey.
Put it this way, we'd be looking at him.
Yeah.
Again. We'd be looking at him again.
Yeah. Did you know though? When you had him as a kid.
Mark.
Did you know that he was?
No, I don't think you can say that about any of them.
Really?
I don't think you can know it. I think when you work in youth football, I think you get to realise that hanging your hat on a player or writing a player off, both sides, I don't think you can do, because a lot changes, especially when you're younger. You always had players that were kind of maybe the better ones in their team and stuff like that, and you go, but you never know how they'll react to then going into the first team, or whether how they'll react going on loan. So yeah, I don't think you can know, but you know that you've got talent in your hands. Like, do you know what I mean? But there's plenty of players that if if we went and spoke to if you could see what some of the coaches at the academy how they were talking about certain players at under 14 compared to how they were talking about them at under 18, it's totally different.
Right.
And even sometimes in the space of 6 months, you'd get some coaches that are changing their mind. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, because of how kids develop like quickly at that age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're back underway here. Jode, I found all that so interesting. We've got a super chat in that says Cole Palmer, such a big game player, scored for City in the Super Club World Cup. Maresca needs appreciation for turning a mess into this mentality. He's made a lot of these players.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a mess. Like I said, there's one of the things that I say that I think people forget is that the last 10 games of the season under Pochettino, we was the second best team in the Premier League.
Yeah, there was
like results wise, we was in the form, we was like we were second. Like, so you go, that's a quarter of the season.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we weren't like, everyone kept saying mess. I never was one of those to believe that. But there's no doubt that coming away from this, needs to be huge credit directed at the manager's door. Because,
no, I agree, and I've been very sceptical about him as well,
and especially in the setup. Like I said, because this is not the Conference League.
No. Also got a message here from Kieran who says, hope you and the family are well, Rory. Does this change your perception of Maresca at all? Is it a gaffer masterclass or Paris Saint-Germain dropping a biblical stinker?
No, we definitely deserve credit for this performance. You can't talk about PSG in the way in which we have before the game and then say all of a sudden, it's because they're having an off day. We've upset them. And that's on and off the ball. So that's both the players and the technical staff together.
Yeah, we've just got it. We've just got it so right, haven't we? Like for the
look at that.
The execution, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Cole Palmer off the ball.
Yeah,
blocking the passing channels.
Just brilliant. Got a message here as well from Danny Youssef. Thank you very much, Danny. Danny says, fans said that this Paris Saint-Germain team would beat the 2011 Barca side. If only we had our two main fullbacks, this Champions League we would have beaten them in the final. We are both injured, as if that doesn't matter. Good luck, Chelsea.
Who's his team?
He must be
talking about
Barcelona. Must be a Barca fan. Yeah. Thank you very much to everyone watching. By the way, would you do us a favour? Would you drop a like on the stream? It really helps us out. Thank you very much. Yeah, good fun. This is unreal though, isn't it? Look, we're on the attack again.
This is definitely
one
a
more and it becomes...
Oh, it's got to be over. Get one more. It's a decent ball.
Yeah, big forward. Like, for Maresca now, you just got to be looking at the clock. Like, it could be such an amazing end to the season to win the trophy that we won in Poland. To then follow it up with this. Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, what a great couple of months we've had.
Yeah. I bet they can't believe it, the ownership. I bet they can't believe it.
And do you know what? It's in their backyard as well, isn't it? Being
it's exactly what they want. Yeah.
It's like they'll be revelling in it.
Yeah.
And rightly so, because they've taken flack. Flack's certainly come their way.
Yeah, and rightly so, a lot of it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And but at the moment, in the Club World Cup final, we're absolutely dominating PSG.
It's unreal, isn't it? Do you know we're gonna, if we win this, we get the Club World Cup emblem on our kit. You get it for 4 years.
Yeah. do you know what? It was one of them. It's like, so you were talking about your mates going to the game, but we were speaking about the Conference League with my group of mates that are Chelsea fans, and they're all very kind of realistic about stuff, and was like, listen, the only thing we're bothered about is that we're going to probably have another song that we can sing in the pubs to say that we're another title in Europe.
Yeah.
But this one is totally different. And when you're saying that you're going to have a big gold badge on your kit for the next 4 years, it's a nice little reminder.
Yeah. Also, it's just, you know when you think about, like, obviously we always think Arsenal here. Arsenal are a massive club. Like nobody's ever going to deny that, right?
Yeah,
You know, huge. Far more comparable to like the biggest clubs in the world than people think. But they do, despite their brilliance in various competitions. Lovely feet.
Yeah.
Like, and again, bloody hell. Oh no!
What a save!
Oh my God!
You ain't said that too many times.
No, what a save!
Very good.
Man, that could be a defining moment. That.
Yeah, I think he's.
They get one back there. Did he scuff it?
That's what I was going to say. I think he slightly hit it into the ground. But listen,
but still,
very
like,
good.
Do you know Sanchez for that kind of react? Like he had a moment a few minutes ago that was like a howler, but for that kind of reactive stuff, he is good.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, he didn't quite get hold of it. Yeah. He didn't quite. God, what?
Yeah, he's done us a favour, Dembele. They're hitting that into the ground. Little warning sign, but listen, they had that early in the first half, didn't they, with the thing? Look at us
the room
again.
Again. I just don't understand why they're so. It seems that I don't know. Would it be Cole Palmer's brilliance for finding room, or are they just not staying close enough to him? Because he always seems to have acres, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I actually think it's set up that way though.
Right.
That's what I mean. I don't just think it's Cole Palmer. I think he's
the whole team. Yeah,
he's getting that in-betweeny spot where Gusto's going so high that he's occupying Mendes that it means that it needs to be one of the midfielders that should be picking him up. But then they've got a midfielder themselves with the three that we're playing in there. So he keeps going into that pocket where no one wants to mark him. Because then if someone goes to mark him, then one of the midfielders should be free.
It's actually so complex, but it's working so well, isn't it?
And actually not even having to work that hard to get him on the ball. It's like very simple, like build-up play.
Also, a lot of the, if you think about like Chelsea's Achilles heel, generally speaking, it's been the back line, hasn't it? Like there's always been an expressive.
We've looked open.
Yeah,
like, and I think part of that is not only just easily aimed at defenders. I think because of how open we've been in midfield at times as well, which allows people to then go onto our back four. But yeah, even defensively, we've looked sound.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Like throughout the pitch.
Just unreal. Like, even the most optimistic, and I think I was that before the game.
You was that, but you still never would
but
have
not this. Yeah, I didn't, like, not this.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of like a really scrappy, like 83rd minute headed goal off the back of a corner and we sort of hang on.
Yeah.
Not 3-0 up at half time and cruising.
Yeah, not dominating. See, this is a little bit more like what Real Madrid was, like where they're almost just sat back, do you know what I mean?
But if we're forcing them, so
we don't,
shooting from 35
exactly,
yards.
no, we'll take that all day.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's different when you're doing that when you're 3-0 up compared to...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, big, really big.
Yeah, I think if we can just ride out this little early stage of the second half, they're going to have to start committing. That's very good from Pedro. Very good.
Oh, he's done it.
No,
he died.
Very good from Pedro.
Yeah, that hold-up play, that back-to-goal stuff's worth its weight in gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, Vitinha's got on the ball more in the second half than he did in the whole of the first half. Just need to be careful with that because in dictating...
Caicedo's got to be on him, isn't he? Like, every time he picks a ball like that. Look, see, Fernandes there, just give him a little clump. Yeah, it's that quality in Fernandes that I really like. I know it's the kind of quality that I hate in opposition players, but I love in our own players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, stop it, Cole.
He's looked just so comfy, isn't he?
He just beats people like he's not particularly quick. I don't know how he does it. It's just the use of the body, isn't it?
I think he's quicker than you think, and you know what? He's got long legs. For his height, you don't think he's really tall, but he's got long legs.
Yeah.
You know, like them when he dangles it and people think they can have a little nibble, he
gone.
Nicks it away.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, this is where we've done very well. Look at that.
That's a lovely pass.
So even there, you've got Cole Palmer that's holding the width, and you've got Gusto that's coming to that
coming
little pocket.
centrally. Yeah,
they've caused problems down the right the whole game.
Yeah, God. Wait, do you know before this, like when I was thinking about who's likely to win, who's capable of winning the league, I didn't have Chelsea in the conversation really. I feel like we're going to be a good side next season, but I did like when I've spoken about the sides that I think can win the league. I basically think it's a 3-horse race.
Yeah,
Man City are back in it. Liverpool far and away the favourites in my opinion, and then like, you've got to acknowledge Arsenal. They've been there for the last 3 years or whatever.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. Are we?
I think that you'll see a turnaround if we come away with this, whether it be whatever the score is now, just purely on the strength of the performance. I think you'll see a change in the media, certainly towards us.
Like you have to see us.
Which we need to see how we can deal with that as well, because obviously we haven't had any pressure at all in the league at the moment as far as being expected to be up there. And the moment when we did start talking about it, we fell off a cliff, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Just before Christmas. So, but if you're talking about the performance in which we've just given now, the tournament in which we're performing in, the players in which it looks like we're adding, you'd like to think that we're going to be better than we were last year. And why doesn't that mean that we can be up there and challenging?
Yeah, like if you can do this to Paris, I mean, I suppose the issue that we might have will be consistency and depth, right? People,
yeah. And also it's the teams that sit off and just waiting for us to break them down that we have the biggest problem with, I think, anyway. Not teams that are open that want to come and get after us. Like I still think we do all right against those type of teams anyway. It's usually the teams that come and park the bus a little bit and say, go on then, break us down. God. That's when we can be a little bit naive and maybe not as great as what we can be. But
yeah.
when you again, you've got Pedro again here that's having a good game. We've added a Delap that might give us a different option. I still think there's signings to come, especially after the success
after this
of making,
as well. After the money from here and whatever else.
We was going for the Milan keeper, weren't we? Whether that gets resurrected because of what a pass that is, Cole Palmer.
Over it? Oh,
it's unlucky. Just wouldn't.
Wait, one more, and it's dead. Like one more and it's over.
Yeah.
Hey, champions of the world! What on earth is going on? Like, you know, when you think about, like, we weren't that long ago that we were losing at Portman Road.
Yeah. See, another long shot though. We take it. We take that.
Totally.
Did he get a touch there, Sanchez? Oh, he did. He did. We just need to ride out this little spell. Oh.
Yeah, just got a super chat here from Nick Raymond who says now what we need to avoid is a Paris Saint-Germain player sort of losing their head, getting stuck in and injuring one of our key players. The game's getting very scrappy. I feel like we're robust enough we're quite a resilient side in that front. I think
good touch. Who's that? Pedro. He done that in the last game, you know. There was a couple of headers that he produced.
It's an important quality, though, isn't it? Your forwards helping out the back line.
Yeah, absolutely. We just you look back how Drogba was back in
both boxes. Yeah.
But that's what I liked in Pedro's performance in the first game. Not just his goals. Everyone wants to talk about his goals. I loved his work rate off the ball and defensively. And you go, just a lovely, like someone who could spark the defence.
Yeah.
First line of defence high up the pitch, there's nothing better when you've got a player in front of you that wants to just get after it and help out, and the minute it goes by him, turns around and tries to condense the pitch.
He's done well, Fernandes. His turnaround,
it's very good.
Astonishing, isn't it? Like, he had a brilliant season for us by the end. Here we go, Andre Santos.
They rate him highly. I think he's one of the ones we'll be keeping for next year, won't he?
Yeah, he does seem to be very popular, yeah.
You get a load of the players that obviously keep coming back, and there's a group of players that are now at Cobham training that you know are kind of not going to be in and around it. But he's one of the ones that, even though he was out on loan last year, he got some good plaudits. and a lot of people talking and speaking well about him.
Yeah.
You'd like to think that he's a little bit of cover for Caicedo as well, don't you?
There seems to be, though, that desire from the, like, they do look to move players on, though, don't they? Like, even when it feels like I feel like almost a way, apart from Cole Palmer and maybe a couple of others, you feel like at Chelsea anything could happen. Like, anyone's for sale. Like, because the ownership seems to have this model of, if the right price were to come in, the player is effectively like Madueke. We only bought recently, but Arsenal have offered enough money to make it profitable, significantly profitable, and suddenly he's gone. Like, I'm certainly not losing any sleep over it, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised that he's.
Yeah,
you know?
I was. In fairness, I was maybe not so surprised that we took a bit of profit on him. I was just a little bit surprised it was Arsenal.
I know. I was surprised from their perspective.
Like, from their perspective, that's.
Oh, unlucky. Palmer's done really well there. Yeah, I was surprised when you think about who Arsenal are and what they're trying to. He's offside, yeah. And what Arsenal are trying to achieve. It doesn't really make much sense, does it?
Well, listen, each to their own, but it depends, doesn't it? I suppose if you're looking at, I think Noni's done okay wide left a couple of times, even for England and stuff like that. So they might be looking at going, look, Martinelli comes in all the time. He's never going to play anywhere near in front of Saka. Is it a bit of backup for Saka in case he gets something and offers Arsenal a little bit more width on the left?
If he's that, it's a good signing. If he's that, I think he's a good signing for them. If it's a depth signing, I think it's a good one. If he's there to start. It's not a depth one, yeah. But it made me realise more about Chelsea than even him going to Arsenal. I just suddenly thought, God, everyone's for sale. Like, if the right offer were to come in and a profitable offer, you think that they make it kind of go with anyone.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll say about that is that if you was to pick one wide man, and especially when you talk about we've got the other Brazilian kid coming in who's a wide boy,
Esteval, who scored against us, didn't he?
Apparently he's supposed to be
he scored against us in this. Yeah.
Then you can maybe see it.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, you don't want. I don't think you'd be looking at getting rid of Neto, would you? Like,
that's mental. Look. Donald Trump and Infantino.
I know. He's got his Stan Smiths on, isn't he?
Yeah.
Infantino.
Mate, that's appalling. He's wearing a pair of trainers and a whistle. Trump be bored out of his head here, wouldn't he? He wouldn't know what's going on. He'd be thinking, what am I doing?
I'll tell you, we look good defensively, even when they have broken on us. Like, we've dealt with their threats well. The right-hand side for us has just been opening up PSG. Look, you've got Ruiz trying to track Gusto out wide there. Ruiz in the left-back spot.
Yeah.
They haven't know how to handle Gusto and Cole.
Yeah, it's a great partnership they've got. They've got it. They've worked really well down that side together, haven't they? Because a lot of the room that Cole Palmer is in is because of the hard work.
Yeah, the fact that Gusto's going high and wide.
Last message here from Michael Gilchrist. He says, just tuned in late, wanted to say buzzing for Rory being able to do this with a Chelsea legend and no doubt a hero of his. Very true. The channel just flew. Yeah, it's true as well, Jody. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure, mate.
Really appreciate you coming on.
No, enjoying it, especially playing like this.
Yeah.
Got to come on every week, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's the only thing sometimes that I think about Cucurella is that when he gets a little bit
rash.
He goes, tries to have a nibble a little bit too much when
it's rash.
You kind of don't have to at times.
Bit too friendly for me, that.
What, the old helping the cramp out?
Yeah,
you wouldn't get me doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, Pedro's getting a bit.
Yeah.
Could be a little. This is where you make a sub though, whenever you're getting a player that's going down with cramp.
Yeah,
even though he's coming back to help there, but once you're getting cramp, it's never going to go away. It's just going to keep coming back.
Yeah, Yeah.
Could see a bit of Delap, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for him. Great time to bring him on, isn't it? Oh,
Good
brilliant,
goalkeeping.
brilliant.
Good
Sanchez.
goalkeeping. I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to punch that and all. How many times you see a keeper punch
when they can
every single cross?
When they can catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see that.
Do you think that, like, he's done well, Sanchez, at various points, but I still don't feel convinced at all by him. Do you think they'll buy a keeper, or do you think that they'll try and go into the season?
I
with
think
Sanchez?
they'll buy a keeper.
Do you?
I'd be astounded if
So would I.
they don't buy a
Oh,
keeper.
look at that, the lap.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well played, Pedro, again,
Done
by the
really
way.
well, Pedro.
He's got a little bit of bite.
Yeah,
about
he
him.
has. Yeah, he's got a real edge.
Yeah.
It seems to be when he fancies it as well. It seems to be like the second that he's got into Chelsea, he's just here to play, here to score goals. It's brilliant.
I mean, as far as a start goes,
Yeah, he
three and 2 starts.
Yeah, he's won silverware about 4 days into a like,
It's brilliant, isn't it? Come on, Delap. Good pressure. Oh, looked like Reece was having a little bit of cramp there and all.
just
Be drinks break
just a
soon, I
big-
think.
Yeah, just a big 20 minutes.
Here we go. Go on, Delap.
Go on, one to beat.
Go on, Liam, lad. Oh my word!
Unlucky.
What an introduction that would have been. Be fair.
Love
so
it. No
good,
fear.
Good save and all.
Good save. Yeah.
That's what you want, though, isn't it? You're bringing on a sub. You're taking off someone who's played brilliant up front, scored a goal.
Oh,
You bring someone on, and
Who does that?
He's just gone at their back four
Yeah.
straight away and unleashed the pile driver. Just tell you,
you
that's a
need
good
that, though,
save.
don't
That,
you?
yeah,
Like, it's
absolutely.
exactly what it
Absolutely.
should be as well. Like, we've had such like.
That's where you go. If you think
forwards
about
for so long.
last year, you're going if you've got Nicholas Jackson and then all of a sudden he's coming off. You haven't got a genuine 9, have you?
No.
Now.
But I don't see Nicholas Jackson as a genuine knight. Like,
Yeah,
I know
understand
I
what you
don't
mean.
like to be. I don't like to be snide, especially not when I'm sitting with like a man of the game. I can be snide when you're not around, but I can't do it when you're here. But like, you know, with Nicholas Jackson, if we're just straight up, like it just can't. It just can't be the centre forward. Like he's so wasteful in front of goal, and he can cost us. Like, we could easily have missed out on the Champions League when he got sent off at Newcastle.
Yeah.
He got sent off in this.
Yeah.
Like, he's a liability.
He is. If you're going to say one thing about Jackson, he is extremely wasteful in front of goal.
Yeah.
Which, when you're at a club like Chelsea and you have to listen against the bigger and better teams, it can go either way, and the game's a lot more open. But when you've got to break teams down and you don't necessarily get a lot of room and a lot of opportunities for you to score, you've got to be a lot more clinical than what he's shown so far. So,
Yeah. And also, you know, when you look at what we've done tonight, like, we have been so good.
Brilliant.
Like, there's just I can't see how there's any room for a Nicholas Jackson. Do you know,
Well, no. Listen, I was listening to Mikel speak the other day. It might have been even yesterday on TalkSport, and yeah, you're going if you're gonna put the strikers in.
They've had a thing, those two.
Yeah, I know. But even in fairness to him, he was being very diplomatic. But when they was asking him to put it as at the moment, if you're starting a game, 1, 2, and 3, who's going to be?
Yeah. It's the only way.
It's the way in which it's come out.
Yeah.
Pedro starts.
Yeah.
Delap comes on as sub, and you'd have to say that Jackson's free. Now, whether that would remain that way is up to the players, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you know the game that we lost out here. A few I know went out to that in Philadelphia, and after the game, they were in the queue for a cheesesteak. That Igbali at Chelsea was in the queue in front of them. I said to him, "Did you say anything?" He went, Joe went over and said to him to sell Jackson, and I said, "What did he say?" He went, "I'm trying."
You heard it here first.
Yeah, in a queue for a cheesesteak in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
The back of getting sent off. Get rid of him. He went, "I'm trying."
Brilliant, Cole Palmer.
The way that he uses his body is just mental, and the ease of the finish.
It's that second little one that does the centre half. That go there, look.
And also, do you know it's important to acknowledge? Like, he's doing it to the best in the world. Like, he's just sent that into the far corner, past Donnarumma.
Do you think he's best in the world? I don't know.
I mean, look,
He's one of them.
I think
he's got.
I think Cole Palmer wins a Ballon d'Or in his career. I genuinely believe in his career he wins a Ballon d'Or.
I don't think that there's any reason why he shouldn't be aiming for that.
Yeah. Also, like, every now and again I can say something like slightly controversial, right? I think that is the least controversial thing I'm ever going to say. Cole Palmer,
he should
at some point over the next decade, wins a Ballon d'Or. Like, if not him, who?
I mean, the only thing that you would say is I think for him to do that, we've got to be better in the league and we've got to perform well in the Champions League.
Yeah, it needs to be more performances like this.
Yeah.
I think he could really do with England having a good World Cup next. Like, for it to happen, England do well, Chelsea keep doing well, serious performances in the Champions League, league titles. Like, it's not going to come unless we're successful. But then equally, if we're not successful...
It's absolutely not above him at all. Well, you can see, look at the level. I mean, you only got to look at his numbers for us in the Premier League, and you look at some of the players that have struggled to hit the numbers that he's hit. I mean, in his first two seasons at the club, he's done more than some
when it was
some
going
greats,
wrong,
some greats,
at the
club.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, that season is almost his most impressive. Like, it's almost his most. It could ultimately go down as one of his most impressive achievements. We were a one-man team
in the first year.
In that first year.
But the only thing that I would say with that is that when you're not a top team, the game's a lot more open.
Yeah.
I think when you're a top team and teams give you the respect you deserve, we ain't nowhere near getting the respect that like a Liverpool or a City gets yet. No. That's when we'll see what we're made of, is when we're to 85-90% of the teams that we play against don't want to come out. That's when you go, right, let's see who your top players are.
But I do feel like, ultimately to unlock a defence, so if you end up playing somebody who's a low block, they've got no intention of winning the game, there's no doubt in my mind that Cole Palmer either himself has the ability to beat someone of scorers we've seen tonight, or that weight of pass that he plays and that vision. Like, do you remember that ball? Was it against Brighton? Do you remember
Newcastle when he put Neto in and he squared it for Jackson? Yeah.
Like,
weldy pass.
Like, it was.
No, he's got the ability to do it.
He's one of the only few footballers in the Premier League that has the vision to see that pass, let alone execute it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that is when you'll then. That's for me the acid test is when I always view it when. Even when we're signing players, when we're signing players from like lesser clubs and teams that are kind of mid-table or whatever, it's a whole different ball game when you come and play for a top team where the respect that other teams give you means that there's less room for you to manoeuvre in. Like, say if we use, I don't know, over the years, let's use Sean Wright-Phillips.
Yeah,
needed room. Comes to Chelsea. Means a lot of the time you'd have to play with your back to play. There's no room in behind. Like, it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah. Whereas at Man City, when they weren't very good,
exactly. Everyone comes onto you. It's like when you're talking about even Delap's and even João Pedro's to a degree. You're like, we've got to wait until when people start giving us the respect of a real top team. Yeah. Then we'll see how well we can do. Ow!
Bad time to. Let's go right. Let's get it.
I'll tell you what, he's done us a favour.
That's a foul, ref. Yeah.
Here he goes. He's the old rolling around.
Yeah, he'll stay down for a little while. No. He'd get booked for that now. He should get booked for that. Can't start doing that.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing. Doesn't he?
Yeah, there's no doubt that João Neves is right.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%.
There's no doubt that João Neves is completely correct.
Yeah.
But got to be done. Yeah,
here he is.
He's laughing as well. But the thing is, if you're Cucurella's teammate there, you're encouraging that, aren't you? You're like, take your time, take the sting out of this for a minute.
I don't know. I used to get the ump with my teammates when they do anything like that. Yeah,
Did you?
It used to just drive me mad.
Well, even
I'm not saying he has to jump up and get ready to play, but the rolling around and holding on, that used to drive me mad.
Did it?
Yeah, I couldn't. It's just a bugbear. Like, if it was, it's like a pet hate. biggest pet hate in football for me is allowing physios to come on the pitch. I think it should be outlawed. Like, honestly, it should be like, if you're injured, leave and make a sub, or if someone feels that they need to see the physio, when they come off the pitch, they shouldn't be allowed back on for 5 minutes, and then you'd stop all this rolling around.
Yeah.
I know he's our player and all that, but I'm just going, my overall,
Generally, yeah.
it's my biggest pet hate in football. I don't think it should be allowed.
In your Chelsea, were we dive? Was your Chelsea team a diving Chelsea? Did we have that? Did we have that in us?
You had Burge, like Graham Lasso used to dive. Yeah, he used to dive a little bit, didn't he? He'd roll around and cause murder. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think who else. Luca was a little bit.
Really?
He wouldn't mind a little.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
It's
like I said, it's just something. I used to, even going back to my under-18 team, I used to say to any of you rolling around, and like, I'll just sub you.
Really?
Like, you can just come off. It used to drive me mad, even if it was my own team.
And did they abide by that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like, it's my pet hate, not just for my team or anything like that. Everybody, when I watch football and go, I find it embarrassing that people roll around and get a physio on. He puts a bit of water on it, and then they sprint in like 10 seconds later. It's like, it should be. I'd said it'd be the one rule I'd change: no physios on unless it's a head injury or something serious.
Yeah.
But if they come on, go, yeah, no problem. The physio's on, but now you have to make us up. You have to make us up.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I'm completely opposite. Like, I'm completely opposite. Yeah, I actively encourage it.
Yeah.
If I was ever the manager of a team, I would be coaching diving. Yeah, get over, get down.
Yeah. I'm not saying that if there's like, you can initiate a touch in the box to win a penalty.
Yeah,
in a heartbeat. Yeah. But I'm just saying, you just don't need to roll around and get a physio on.
Do you know? I like those sort of more dark arts. Like, I think John Terry told a great story about Jose Mourinho, about the two centre halves going down at the same time.
And the ref has to stop it.
Yeah. I thought that was brilliant, and I really like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I'd be encouraging my team to do it, but maybe that says a lot about me as a man.
No, listen,
dive and do whatever you got.
If it's good enough for Jose, it's good enough for you, isn't it? They're getting frustrated here. They can't get going, PSG.
Jody, got a question here for you from William Morgan. He's a big Swansea fan, and I think he's heard a rumour, and he was wondering if Jody almost joined Swansea as a manager a few years ago.
Yeah, it was out of me and Russell Martin.
Really?
And they ended up making the right decision and giving it to Russell Martin. I thought I had it at one stage, because Russell Martin hadn't heard anything and I hadn't heard anything, and I think the interview went not too bad, but they ended up going with Russell Martin. Yeah, so very, very true.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that could have been an interesting one. Swansea had a spell. Obviously, they won the League Cup. Do you remember that? Yeah, they beat us in the semi-final of that League Cup. Remember Hazard and the ball boy?
Yeah. That was a lot. That was a lot
Hazard
before. A lot longer before.
Yeah.
This is like 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Long way though, Joe.
Yeah.
Long way, Swansea.
Yeah, I know. I've been there a few times.
Yeah. It's always misleading, because when you go, we played them very early in the season. We drew 2-2. I remember going, and you cross into Wales quite quickly. Go on. Oh my god.
Oh, what was the centre half doing there? Ended up being a good save in the end.
That would have been lovely for Dan. I'd love him to score.
Yeah, to score. Yeah,
come on.
It's a good save, that.
Oh, was terrible defending, but
he's had a nightmare, that for them.
It's a lucky
you don't know
touch,
much about it.
It's a lucky touch from Donnarumma. I mean, you made yourself big and get there, but he got lucky.
Yeah, that's it. Take your time, lads.
This has just been perfection, hasn't it?
It's very good.
Palmer's announced himself to the world again. João Pedro looks like a great signing. Neto's done brilliantly, fighting. Enzo Fernandez, we're fighting for each other as well. There seems to be that team spirit.
We've looked assured defensively as well, which is not something that we'd always kind of say about us, and especially when you're talking about what they offer going forward. For us to look as assured as we have, absolute masterclass from the lads.
So it's an important reminder to the world. Like, this is what Chelsea should be. Like, you know, when I've been really moany. I've been really moany over recent years because the standards have just been like in the gutter.
Yeah. I mean, this is as good a performance that I think that you can. I'm not sure I've seen a performance like this for a good couple of years. Like, this is against the best team. Like, make no mistake about it. Don't matter how they look tonight. This is the best team in world football.
No doubt. Yeah, you have to remember the dominance in that Champions League final. Like, it's very easy to sort of dismiss it. That dominance in the Champions League final was ridiculous.
Yeah, and even this tournament, this tournament recently. Yeah. Even that, it was a good foul by Levi. Like, I don't mind those type of dark arts when it there's very good. But I always remember Vialli used to say that to us.
What, slow it down?
He was just saying, like, he used to get annoyed. So the club used to fine us for getting yellow cards and red cards, and obviously when you're young like me and on peanuts, like, those little fines when they kick in, they're nightmare. And I remember going to him and saying, like, I know, like, you tell us to like foul it. Why don't you? Can you speak to the upstairs? It's like, you said that there's good yellow cards and good fouls for us that help the team win. And he was like, "You're right." And I remember him going upstairs and saying, "We need a panel that will decide whether it was a good yellow card or a stupid one." So say, like, if you kick the ball away, he'd go, "No, you deserve to get fined or whatever." But if it was a good foul for the team.
So they took it on. They took on your idea.
Yeah. Well, Luca did.
Yeah. But when he went and spoke to the club had it as well, right?
Yeah. Because I was obviously just most of the first team players wouldn't give a about there being a fine. It was, I don't know. It was only like 100 and something quid or something. But I'm like, that all adds up for me on peanuts.
There's a super chat landed from a Tottenham fan called Tommy Castillo, who turns up whenever I'm live. He always turns up. He's American. He's always got something to say. Yeah. And you know Tottenham. Cucurella off the ball.
Always. Oh. Who is it? Neves again?
I think it is. It is. Now he's actually, off the back of what happened before, now he's actually decided to just get the booking and do it. It's like that previous super chat said about this getting, like, spiteful. Yeah. Could happen there. Yeah, we just need this game to end now. Nothing silly, no injuries.
He actually go.
Oh, he's done his hair. He's pulled his hair.
But in fairness to Neves, it was Cucurella doing him first off the ball.
Yeah.
He plays the game. Cucurella.
But that happened. We played Tottenham.
Yeah, and they didn't. We didn't get a free kick.
They scored off the back of someone pulling his hair late on. Harry Kane, I think.
Yeah. See, even that He's holding his head as if he's been smashed in it. He's literally just pulled his.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone to VAR. Oh, look, he's got some GoPro on. The ref's got GoPro on.
Surely that won't be that's just pulling. Look, he's
done him for.
Yeah, look, he's rolling. Right.
Possible red card.
No,
you can't give him a red card, can you, for that? I think he's gonna,
What?
He's gonna give him a red card.
Would that be a? Surely that's not that aggressive, is it? It's just pulling his shirt, no? Well, it's a little bit more.
I think can it be considered violent conduct to pull someone's hair? He's going for his pocket.
Oh,
he's got a red card for pulling someone's hair.
Classic. Cucurella's
unreal, isn't he?
And he's boffed him first as well.
Yeah. Cucurella's unreal. Do you know what, though? Off the back of this, I don't want to play Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. Like, not in a knockout. Like, there'll just be an afters here.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Someone else knock him out.
He's up now, look.
He's fine.
Scandalous. You're right, though. There'll be so many Chelsea fans absolutely loving that.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah.
Me? I think it's brilliant.
Oh, don't get...
Right, nothing silly now. 5 minutes.
Don't get silly. In fairness, I bet even that Luis Enrique will have a lot of good things to say about Maresca, I think, after this.
Yeah, I think
Because
Chelsea, I think Paris Saint-Germain.
the way they've set up, the way the
Yeah.
managers set them up, the way the players have carried out their individual responsibilities within the team,
Yeah.
I think it's
This is getting
been
filthy.
very good.
This has gone mad. Yeah, this is getting hateful now. It's got to that stage, I think, for Paris Saint-Germain where, look, Caicedo's done one, but there was one earlier, wasn't there? Like, there was a series of fouls at Cucurella. Yeah, Cucurella charged into Neves and bought that.
Yeah. He's done it first.
Yeah. It's tempting as well. You know, with his hair like that.
Oh,
Like,
you'd
if someone does, you'd have to.
you'd
Like,
have
how
to,
are you going
yeah.
to leave that alone?
Yeah. I remember doing it to Robbie Savage. It was.
Did you?
Yeah, it was the exact same. You know, when someone's got like hair. Like
Did
that,
you
it's like,
get sent off?
No. It's like.
Did he? What happened? Did he leave one on you
nothing.
first?
I think
or?
we was all having arguments or whatever, and I remember just coming from behind and then
Did
pulling
you?
his hair. Like,
Did you?
yeah, just,
Leicester days.
yeah,
Leicester. Yeah.
yeah.
He had a very bad day at home against Leicester one year. Steve Guppy.
Yeah, we
We
was
were on for the
winning,
league.
weren't we? Yeah,
We were on for the league.
we was and then
98, I think.
yeah,
We were on for the league title.
That's right.
Steve Guppy. Unforgivable.
I think he coming on his right.
Yeah.
Then he's never scored a goal on
Yeah.
his right forever. Coming on his right,
Yeah.
and they brought Doobs on actually as sub. Luca brought Doobs on as sub, and I remember that he could have come out and got a
Could
block.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Guppy did it. Do you know there was another one where it looked really... Was it Leeds, Stephen McPhail? Do you remember that?
No.
Felt like we were on for something big. And yeah, Leeds beat us. I think maybe LaBeouf got sent off.
Oh yeah.
If I'm remembering-
Yeah. Because he done something to Harry Kewell, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, LaBeouf got sent off.
Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the year after.
Was
That
it?
99, I think. Yeah. 99 to 2000. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, good Chelsea teams. Good Chelsea teams. Really good, in fact. That Leicester year when Guppy did that, like I honestly think the league was on.
Well, yeah,
Like-
we only finished 4 points behind
What's he done?
Man United, I think.
Oh my God!
Was it Man United? Yeah.
He just missed an open goal.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's got to be it. Those moments don't come round
No.
twice.
Yeah, we ended up finishing third that year, but we was at that point. If we win that game, we was going into, I think it was the last game of the season with a chance to win the league.
That's right. Yeah. Shame, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Liam.
Go on, get him, lad.
Got nothing to lose here. Just go on. Lucky.
Oh, here comes
Don't
the foul.
do it.
Oh,
That's
he's got
fine.
there
He's done
first.
well. He's won the free kick. Excellent.
I'll tell you what, we've won the tactical battle,
Done everything right.
the technical
yeah. Individual battles on the pitch.
We've also like even won like the dark arts, like
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah.
We've won that.
No, it's been a complete and utter dominant performance, like on every level. Like Maresca's won the battle of the managers.
Yeah.
Every player on the pitch has won their individual duel. It's
Yeah.
been perfect. Can't believe it.
Look, he's telling him to take the free kick. The geezer's only about 6 yards from him. Oh, that'll be a foul. He's had a decent tournament in Cuckoo, isn't he? Like, we all know that
Yeah,
it's probably
he's got to
going
go,
to
hasn't
be
he?
sold,
Yeah.
isn't he? But, you know, like,
Yeah, he hasn't done bad.
he's put himself in the shop window, isn't he?
I think that would have been the hope from Chelsea and the ambition from him.
Yeah. Well done, Trev.
God, can't. 5 minutes. 5 minutes from glory. And 4 years we get the badge on the gold badge on the shirt for 4 years.
Brilliant. Blocks.
Nothing silly, yeah.
Stand up.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, offside was it?
Yeah, lovely.
This is
Lovely. It's easy. Easy. Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, that's foolish offside, isn't it? Yeah, this is it's about as complete a performance as we could possibly hope for.
I don't remember a performance as good as this. When would you say? Because even
can't really think, like,
even when you talk about, and I don't just mean under Maresca, I'm talking like I know everyone can always go, oh, we beat City in a Champions League final, but the performance weren't this level.
No, we got lucky.
Like, yeah, I don't remember a performance as good as this.
No, this is yeah, I can't think of one. Just like dominating from start to finish.
Yeah, against the best team.
Yeah. Go on, one more now, just to icing on the cake. Oh. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Just look after it.
Yeah. Just keep it now.
Yeah.
Go back to the keeper.
He could be doing the Olays.
Oh, what are you doing, Moise?
This is a problem.
He's trying his hardest, isn't he?
I was so nice about him before, wasn't I? And then, like, that's what he's got in him.
By the way, he nearly done it 5 minutes ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
When, he took too long on the
ball. But then he made that, that save when Dembele hit it first time and he's gone out, like he can pull those saves, like those spectacular ones out of the bag. But then he does that. They're a league of their own goalkeepers, aren't they? They're just insane.
Yeah, that's typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
But imagine this was a tight game and he goes and does something like that. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where we've got a bit.
Yeah, you can't trust him. He's done it. He's done it here.
That's 2 instances in.
Yeah, it could have cost
6
us.
minutes.
Could have cost us a game. Yeah, you just can't trust him.
Oh, what a ball, Caicedo!
Go! Oh, I'd love the lap to get on the score sheet.
Go on then, down the
line.
line.
Go on, yeah. It's a corner flag now, will he?
Yeah. Oh,
ref!
I'll tell you what, this could be a red and all. This could be a red.
It's filth, isn't it? They've lost their heads.
Yeah, they're gone. They're not used to getting dominated.
But yeah, we do. I think this. Oh, he's all right, jumps. But this performance has almost been perfect because we haven't conceded a goal. We've won the cup, but we've seen enough from Robert Sanchez for the manager to go to the owners. Look, like he's done it. Like he hasn't been flawless. Like nobody could go. Well, we didn't concede a goal against Paris Saint-Germain, and we don't need a new keeper. You'd have to use this.
I think it's fair to say that I think the manager would have made that clear well before tonight, anyway.
But then they were quibbling over £5 million for Mike Mannion, weren't they?
Yeah, but
someone else has got it, or him again.
But again, it's that when we're talking about the transfers and all that earlier, it's all a game in it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, he's
we won't be short of any dough anyway after winning this one.
I know. It's in the bag. That's it. It's got. I mean, it is. It's won. It's done it.
So good.
Maresca. What a performance from him.
Brilliant. Oh. Yeah, just no one gets sent off. If you get sent off now,
he's probably going to have something. He's probably going to have an impact. Yeah. I remember Wayne Rooney once getting sent off in a friendly. Or was it Scholes maybe? Got sent off in a friendly, and it counted. Like he missed the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. Like you can't do any. Can't do anything silly here now. So, yes.
Well done.
Look at that.
What a performance.
Cole Palmer.
What a performance. Two goals and an assist for
Club World Cup
for the Iceman.
Yeah, I mean this final, like the last final that we won about a month ago, it will just go down as Cole Palmer's final again.
Yeah, he's
just untouchable, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just
like
so
genuinely
good.
untouchable.
So good.
You know the whole we've won it all. Like it really is true, isn't it? Like whatever is going on, wherever it's going on, like Chelsea just do this. Like this is what happens. Like before the game when we were talking, And of course, the rational argument was Paris Saint-Germain are brilliant. Luis Enrique is elite.
Yeah.
And I kind of went, that's all true, but I think we beat them.
Yeah.
It's because it's what we do.
What's going on here?
It's gone again. Who is it? Who are these people? Fans on the pitch?
Who are them in the white t-shirt?
Don't know. What's he got? He's got... Yeah. But to have done this, to put in this performance, this perfect performance against Luis Enrique, Donnarumma, Ousmane Dembele, Vitinha.
Yeah.
Like, it's historic.
See, PSG got to, behave himself here as well. Oh, hold on.
Luis Enrique's involved, Donnarumma's involved. It's João Pedro, wasn't it?
Oh, Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique's had an argument there with João Pedro.
He's pushing the man. Yeah.
Oh, João Pedro's pushed. Oh, Donnarumma's got the hump because João Pedro's pushed Enrique.
Yeah, but again, why is João Pedro going down on the floor?
Yeah. Oh, look, he has actually gone. Yeah, we don't need to play Paris Saint-Germain. Look, Nicholas Jackson's heavily involved. He's not even on the pitch. Oh, my God. You love to see it. You know what? You know when these things happen, everyone goes, these are the scenes that nobody wants to see in football. These are the scenes everyone wants to see in football. Do you know what? This is almost as important as anything that I've seen on the pitch. This, unity and togetherness and fight in the squad.
Yeah.
This is what I want to see.
Yeah,
it's been lacking.
They've made themselves look silly here, the old PSG lot.
Yeah, bad losers.
It's no class.
Bad losers. And also, this is what I want from... there hasn't been enough fight from the squad over say, the Clear Lake era. There hasn't been enough of it. It's nice to see that they're all fighting for each other. Cole Palmer, I just cannot... I'm not a clever enough man or an articulate enough man.
Did you see Cole Palmer there saying, get that off?
What, about the Paris Saint-Germain top?
Yeah, he went, get that off.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, what? But, yeah, right. What, because Gusto's wearing the Paris Saint-Germain top. Get that off.
Get off, yeah.
Love it.
It's true, though. What the fuck
is
he doing?
Got Barcola's shirt. Earlier in the show, Jode, I mentioned Cole Palmer will win a Ballon d'Or at some point in his career. These are the kind of performances.
He's got to be aiming for that, because when you can produce like he can and you have the type of talent that he has, he has to be aiming for that. And in fairness, I imagine he is.
Yeah.
He's not a silly boy. He knows what he's got. He knows the quality that he possesses, and he also knows how much he's produced in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So you go, okay, then I'm going to go on to another level next year. I'm going to be playing in the Champions League finally, and I'm going to be known as the main man for Chelsea, and he should be one of the main men for England. So you go, okay, I've got to go and produce in the tournament in those two, and I've got to push for the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's performances like this as well. England, Chelsea have a good season next year, Champions League football next year for us. All it takes is it to go well for him personally, which I believe it will. England, I just can't believe every single time he's been given an opportunity. You know how we always talk about, and I'm not comparing the two, but you know how we always talk about Didier Drogba being that kind of big game player when the chips are down, when it most matters, turns up. Every single time that Cole Palmer has played in a big game, he has shone. Whether it's for Man City, scoring the goal to win them the Super Cup, whether it's for Man City at Wembley, scoring a goal to do his best to win them the Charity Shield against Arsenal, whether it's for Chelsea in Poland, where he basically admitted that he had enough of the way that it was going and he did his own thing.
Yeah.
Tonight, every single time you throw him in the deep end, even in the semi-final for England in Dortmund, it's his ball into Ollie Watkins. It's just you give him the stage, and he basically guarantees you the performance.
I think that's what you get when you talk about elite players. I think when you throw challenges or you the level goes up, they seem to go with the level.
Yeah.
So it's all right him producing week in, week out in a maybe a Chelsea team that are kind of not viewed as challengers or whatever, and he's producing and he's scoring. But he literally, you're right, he sticks his chest out and goes, okay, I'm at this competition now, this level now. Okay, I'll go and
it doesn't faze him, does it? Whatever's going on, playing for England, being almost thrown in the deep end by Southgate for England, bang, wallop, goal in the final against Spain. playing here against Paris Saint-Germain. So playing against Spain, playing against the best international team, bang, goal. Playing against Paris Saint-Germain, the best club team, bang, goals. It's like...
It's assist. Like, let's not even forget that. Like, it's the coolness around it in the final third. I mean, he's cool all over the pitch. Let's get it right. But how relaxed and how cool he was with not only passing the ball into the net, the first one, then the two dummies for the second, and then passing it in the exact same spot, knowing, going, yeah, all the best getting down there, Donnarumma. And then the coolness in which he's arriving at the final third, travelling with the ball 20, 25 yards, and then the waiter pass for the striker that, like I said, any midfielder's dream is anybody that wants to make runs that allow you to show what you have in your locker as far as passing is concerned. But also, whatever any striker's dream is, knowing that you can make runs when Cole Palmer's in possession of the ball, knowing that not only will he see the run, he'll be able to execute the pass,
perfect pass at
and
the perfect way.
And then exactly for you to just run on and go, right, there's my third goal in 2 games.
For João Pedro's goal, obviously, I'm not taking anything away from João Pedro. Beautiful run, exquisite finish. But the weight of pass from Cole Palmer kind of makes his mind up for him. Yeah, it brings the keeper out. It means that the chips on. It's perfect.
Perfect. And that's the type of thing, is that those type of balls, they look simple on television there, and when you're watching someone like Cole Palmer play it, but having to hit the right weight of ball whilst you've just travelled 25 yards and you're arriving on the edge of the box, when some people get a little bit like, oh, what should I do, and then they tense up. He just goes into relaxed mode and just goes, right, I'll pick the right pass, and it will be, like I said, executed perfectly.
I mean, he is an icon. I genuinely think that he is like a Hollywood footballer.
I agree. And so you called it again. Be fair, you've been calling everything tonight. But I think you're right. I think that where these type of performances in these type of competitions on this stage, they do elevate you to a different level. I think that if you're one of Cole Palmer's sponsors, whether it'll be we're talking about Nike or whatever, I think that you might be getting a call within a week from his representative saying, I think we need to up the deal because we're now going to a different level.
Historic, an amazing night. I just cannot really believe what we've witnessed.
Best performance I've seen from a Chelsea team in a long time.
Mate, I completely agree. Thank you so much, Jody, for coming on.
No, thanks for inviting me.
It's been an honour. Genuinely, it's been an honour to watch it with you.
Thanks for inviting me, mate. I've loved it.
Thank you. No, mate, you've shone. It's been so insightful, and I really do appreciate your time.
Brilliant.
Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Chelsea are champions of the world. We really have won it all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all again very soon. In a bit.